All right.
Hold on. Can actually record. Okay.
All right. And we're both live. Flashpoint Ebantis. What's going on, man?
Oh, not much. It's been kind of an insane week. Season 5 has started. I'm going to warn you guys in advance. It's going to be a long point to the max. We have so much to talk about. We were off for Thanksgiving. Had a little travel in there, and then they dropped I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was just like drinking from a fire hose, all this stuff coming, annual pass, calendar, and it's just like, holy crap. So we got a lot to dig into. Oh my God. Once again, shout out to Butt Fuel this morning. Got to get it started with a hilarious name. So thank you guys. And then Cat Daddy Fat Stacks over there on ILP. Shout out to both of you guys. Just your names are cracking me up this morning. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here for me, 9 o'clock on the East Coast for you. How's your morning going, sir?
Oh man, it's doing good, man. It's been a rough week. Obviously, you already know I've been transitioning over to the master race due to my boy. My boy Vantis hooks me up with the fantastic suggestions, and it's truly been a pleasure. So thank you, sir. I have been enlightened. I have seen the light of solid state drives and 60 frames uncapped and all this goodness that I've been out of the PC market for over 8 years. So it's just really good to see how much of a dramatic jump this is for somebody like me. And it's real cool, man. So salute to my boy Bontis. Help price this thing out for me. And I am in like cloud 11. I haven't got a chance to play much Destiny yet on PC, but the little I've played, wow. Wow. So newsflash, ILP clan on Xbox, it will always be love. It would always be true. But if you want to catch me,
you're going to be living in the new style.
Oh man, I'm moving on up, man. I'm in the penthouse now, and I gotta be a little bougie. I gotta treat myself to the finer things in life right now. Oh man!
So this is actually a good thing for somebody who's been on console for a while. Love console, huge, even Xbox One X player. How does it feel when you step into it? What are the big things you notice? Like, what are the things that you catch on PC? Because some people are jumping in for the first time. The game's been free. It's actually a good thing. Like, I mean, if you're on console, you've never been a PC gamer. Just what do you feel like it adds to your experience?
I think first off the bat is just the pure speed. It's just the fluidity and the speed of the game. It just feels like a new game. It's completely jarring at first because going from the 30 frames per second, and don't get me wrong, like I'm Xbox One X in it, I'm doing real good. And shout out to Jay in the chat. What's up, baby? I'm doing real good, but it's just like it is such a disparity that you can't go back. You can. I now see what you're talking about. You can't. Like, I'll be lying to myself if I sit there and I'm going back. It is really a different game. Now, as far as the resolution, that even impressed me even more because remember, I'm coming from a Xbox One X, 4K HDR. It really looked great. On a computer monitor, again, IPS monitor, refresh rates extra high, max setting, ambient inclusion, all these things tessled up. And I have to say, it ain't 4K, but man, it looked fantastic with all these effects on. So I'm seeing things that I didn't see before, just little minute details, just doing the Gaul in the beginning, that whole storyline, with D2 Vanilla. And man, it is really, really impressive. So yes, console guys, I'm telling on my clan now, if you got the rig to run it, man, just for 60 frames by itself alone is so worth it. So worth it. Got to do it, man.
Well, welcome to the bright side of PC. I mean, and honestly, it's just one of those things. Not everybody's for it. I mean, you're still playing controller on mouse instead of mouse and keyboard, right?
I'm stubborn. I got my Xbox One Elite controller. I'm stubborn. I'm old school.
So, like, that's the other piece, and that can take hey, it looks pretty, controller's comfortable. Take some time when you're just running around on patrol, get that feel for that mouse and keyboard, and just literally compare the weapons back and forth and be like, all right, how does this gun feel with controller? How does this gun feel with mouse and keyboard? Because me, like, I haven't played on controller for a while. It would just probably feel bad no matter what. But as it feels good to you on controller, see how it feels on mouse and keyboard, or just literally like pick up the controller, you know, pull the trigger, see how the recoil is. Use the mouse and keyboard, click the mouse, just see how the differences are. And I'll just kind of be curious. We'll see.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Have to test it out in that regard and see what all those differences are. So I agree. I always putting things through its paces. But I will say this real quick. I know this is going to be a long point. But
yeah, the funny strap in. We're going to be here for a while.
The funny thing is, now that I'm a kindergarten again, right? Start basically
like a blueberry out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got the dirty clothes. I'm not even iced out. I have no exotics. Now I see the importance of Zur and Hawthorne. Let's just say that.
But I mean, that's like, we'll get to Zur a little bit later, but that's exactly what they want Zur to be. He is for newer players. He is for those things that you might be missing from a previous expansion, that drop that just didn't quite happen. They're not trying to be like, hey, let's just, you know, funnel you all the exotics in this nice speedy fashion. They have to, they want work behind them. They want them rare. They want them to feel exotic. And people are like, it's so funny. I'll do my Zur video and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's going to change in a week or not. We'll see. But there's like, I get more hate on those videos. And literally, I don't think it's for anything that I do. People just log and be like, oh, he's got garbage again, downvote. And it's like, it's not against me. I'm pretty sure that's one of the few where it's just like, they're just frustrated but that's not the purpose of Zur. Like, we've kind of come to understand that. So,
no, you're absolutely right. It just made me have an appreciation because, again, it's going to be hard for me. Like, I don't have Thunderlord, I don't have Sleeper, all these things I'm so used to. So now it's a matter of, okay, I have to get what I can get to kind of get my footing back and to see what's up. So I recognize the importance. I'll be looking forward to your Zur video later today.
Yep, it'll be coming about 3 hours, 3.5. So.
Let's get it, man.
So we got a lot of stuff to talk about, as you guys saw on the title card here. We got Season 5 launch Tuesday. We've got Black Armory, the full Vidoc. We'll cover that either in at least just the notes, maybe watch little blips here and there. Got the calendar to discuss. But before we even get to any of that stuff, we were out of town for Thanksgiving. I was, at least. I think you made some traveling too, sending me some pictures from different stadiums, shouting out to my Huskies out here. So we got some pinnacle weapons. This is Season 5, and we haven't even got to Black Armory yet. So last week's TWAB. What's up, Said Fred? How you doing, man?
Said Fred.
So we got new weapons to grind forward, new quests to work on, things that look pretty cool. So let's just jump in. Basically, last week's TWAB was pretty quick. Came out on Wednesday, and they talked about 3 weapons. That's it. And they're pinnacles. So by pinnacle, they mean in-game, long quest grind, got to do a lot of things. If you like PvP, here's this one. If you like Gambit, here's this one. If you like PvE, here's this one. So they actually have one for each activity, which is really cool. And we're going to start with the Vanguard. We got ourselves a little fusion rifle action. You want to take this one since a little fusion rifle love?
Actually, you could jump in. I'm gonna warm up into it. I'm warm up because the next one I really want to talk about.
Okay, fine. Right,
I want to be greedy.
All right. So first for the Vanguard, this will be through Zavala. It's a quest line. We've got loaded question. So it's a high impact fusion rifle. The unique perk is Reservoir Burst. When the battery is full, so like if you fully reloaded, your next burst deals additional damage and causes enemies to explode on death. So sounds kind of cool. I haven't honestly used fusion rifles that much here and there. I was working on just like some art kills or something. I had made and green in my inventory. They still have some they still have a viable use. Sometimes I feel like they're on that somewhat inconsistent side too. Like just the spread I wish was just a little tighter and stuff like that. So I want to get my hands on this thing. I mean, if it's got a good range, good, nice, tight spread on the bullets, like this thing's going to be kind of a truck. And if you get one person to explode, that actually might be cool. Yeah. But this is built for PvE, not PvP. So if you reload, switch over, throw out a big burst with your fusion rifle into a group of enemies and they all explode and you take out like 20 thrall, that's its purpose. That is its goal. So it's not going to be as much like, it might actually sound decent for like some ad killing, depending on what you're fighting in Gambit per se. I don't know if this is going to be like beast mode for PvP personally, just how it feels. So.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But in reality, it makes sense, right? Because this is the Vanguard pinnacle weapon. I'm cool with that. And to be honest, I feel like fusions are still not in the greatest spot in PvE. So to see some type of spectacularness with it is really cool. I'm digging that, the extra little beefiness to the explosions and all that stuff. An arc weapon is always nice, you know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with it, man. I just got to get cracking from that quest from Zavala. But I think this is definitely a nice, little tribute weapon, pinnacle weapon as a start. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Definitely got the Vanguard. If you want some like snazzy pictures of these things, they are on BNet, so check them out. So the quest works. Basically, you're going to go to Zavala, pick it up, and you're going to have 3 pieces. You got 500 fusion rifle kills in strikes or nightfalls. So grab fusion rifles you like, pick them up, find those perks, whether it's scavenger, reserves, reload speed, dexterity, all those things. If you're going to be using, like, dig through your vault, find those pieces of armor, make it work. 100 art kills. This is actually going to go pretty quick. It can be anything. Grenades, abilities. Thunderlord is a way to wipe this one out really fast. The long grind, 40 strikes or nightfalls. Now, my little tidbit of advice for all of you guys listening out there, do your strikes. Nightfalls are one thing. That's just if you're working on them or not. But do your strikes when it's heavyweight. Throw heavyweight on there. Throw art kills on there. Just start wrecking stuff. It's going to be crazy. Art kills, Thunderlord. If you got it, it'll be great. If you got a main ingredient, Art Fusion Rifle, double time it. But those strikes, just to wipe them out quicker, kill the bosses really fast. Heavyweight's going to be the way I grind. So that kicks off again today, and then it'll be back on Monday. So look out for that heavyweight. Like, some people grind it out the first day, but if you want to just be a little more efficient, that's my two cents at least.
This screams Thunderlord too. I mean, to get them 1,000. Shout out to Corey Burns trying to get his 1,000. Yeah, man. All I'm just visualizing is Thunderlord just chain killing all those ads and just racking up the kills. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun. I think you're on the money with heavyweight too. So it's gonna be a fun little grind.
So that's one. Now this one, I think you might be the one to want to talk about this. Is this it, or is this your next one? You looking for?
Yeah, actually both. But
Right.
So
we got to take it.
Yeah, we got breakneck, the precision auto rifle kinetic. Its unique perk is onslaught. So the weapon's rate of fire increases as you stack rampage. That's pretty insane. Nice little twist. Kind of gives you a Redrix twist, but with rampage and increased damage. So the plan was to make more pinnacle weapons for a variety of activities and not just a crucible. We had to think of something that would fit the activity. This is intended to be a workhorse for Gambit encounters with killing large numbers of enemies very fast is the name of the game. So yeah, man, this thing, they added that to it. They basically giving that a legendary tier effect like Rampage on top of it, like they did with Outlaw for Desperado. And literally when I saw it, that's what I thought of. I don't know if you caught the little vidoc, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But this thing, I mean, he was behind, I think it was a Titan behind cover, and he was just destroying. And I was like, wow, I gotta have my hands on that, man. So from a PvE thing, this thing's gonna be a beast. Basically pretty much how to earn it. They're saying you get it from the Drifter, 500 auto rifle kills, 100 auto rifle multi kills. Then you got 150 challenging enemies defeated, 40 Gambit matches completed. So I got a question for you. As far as you're the solo guide guy, you're out here. So what do you? I had some thoughts. What do you think is going to be most efficient to get our hands on the breakneck?
Me, I haven't touched auto rifles that much in a while. I've even got to think of what would be a good one to use. Auto rifle multi kills as well is one that's like I'm gonna even think about a good way to do that, because I mean, things like Risk Runner, things like Huckleberry, those are ones that I can like chain and keep firing.
Right.
Auto rifles, I don't feel I have that that power, that effect, or that speed of killing. So I'm like, I'm sitting here. Yeah, go for it, man. I'm racking my brain, honestly.
We got to get to the sweet business, baby.
Okay, that actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
that one running. I totally forgot about that one.
Yeah, we got to dust sweet business. So I was thinking about, I was like, damn,
that was a damn good point.
Yeah, man. So I said we figured we dust that bad boy off and see how that goes, just to change stuff up. But this is gonna be a fun little weapon to get, man. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, that video you're talking about when he's sitting behind a rally barricade and it's the hollowed lair strike when like you have 1,000 enemies running at you. I can't tell if there's anybody else in the room with him, but he's just just mowing them, because I mean, rally barricade, you always have ammo, and the firing speed of this gun as it cranks up with rampage, and then the damage you get on top of it, it's just like a minigun. It looks crazy. So if you can get it in the right position, I think it's going to be cool. It's just one of those where once you get it running, it'll be great. Things like rally barricade, Actium war rig, Actium war rig auto rifles, I can't remember.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, Actium war rig. Yeah, I believe that's it.
Yeah. So anything to lunafaction boots. Hunters are going to be using the reload jump a lot, but it's like that continuous, just like crazy speed, a lot of quick. You're going to burn through ammo fast. So if you have that way to keep the ammo coming in, that's going to be crucial to let this thing really put some work in. But I'm really looking forward to it. Kind of like it. It's like the little leather strap looks like it's wrapped around the barrel. Kind of cool.
Yeah, and then you got the drifter little chain on it, right?
Yeah, little drifter chain here, little icon there. So got the stock in the back. Looks cool. I like it. Just looks like auto rifle from Senior Drifter.
Yes.
Final piece, somewhat controversial. We have the Mountaintop. This is a lightweight kinetic grenade launcher. It's the second one in the game. First one coming from the Strike. But yeah, so the unique perk is Micro Missile. This weapon fires in a straight line and has a massively increased projectile speed. So not quite what I would consider like hit scan for a weapon,
right?
But basically picture like travel time of a fusion rifle. It's going to be there pretty damn fast. So if you can hit them square on, good, more power to you. But if you're looking at somebody's feet, and you can probably kill them before they jump. Like that's the idea. They're not like fire rocket and you might get away or take less damage. If they're on the ground and you shoot it, dead. Like it's going to be quick. So I've seen some people out there with some videos. It looks like it could be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think?
I think this is a nice little switch up. You know, obviously we don't have many of this archetype, so unique micro missile sounds cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very curious about how that's going to go. He says, in addition to the above benefits, the projectile instantly detonates on the environment instead of bouncing like a traditional grenade launcher. So that unless you have sticky grenade selected, so that's going to be interesting. I like it. I think this might be something. And for me, as in Crucible, I could actually see myself attaining it because I'm a big I believe part of the, as we go through the perks of attaining it, I thought I remember seeing grenade launcher final blows. Yes. So as we go through that, I'm a play of the game guy, man. So that's part of my repertoire. So I can definitely see myself getting this. Just, you know, a fun weapon. I think people might be underrating it, you know, based on the fact that it's a grenade launcher. You know what I mean? And most people don't tend to use those in the Crucible, especially. I think this thing might sneak up on people big time.
Yeah, I mean, just the way, if you can cross map somebody, if they're by a wall, if you can go grenade launcher one shot cross map pretty quick with an explosion. I mean, it's got potential. If somebody's on a point, you can get up in the air and they're standing there, get them right at their feet. Like grenade launchers taking the bounce out and just like insta like explosion, it's gonna be pretty cool. So I know grenade launchers for me have served me pretty well as of late. I think they got enough buffs. The ammo is starting to be a little more easy to come by. I mean, if you throw a rally barricade up and you dump 15, even edge transit, like you throw 15 of those into something really quick from a rally barricade, you're going to dump some speed. So, I mean, grenade launchers are something I was like, I don't know. And then occasionally, sometimes I use them. Like I was even just messing around with just testing different weapons in Shattered Throne for the Ogre. And I was like, all right, screw it. Let's just see what edge transit does. So I can literally throw up a rally barricade, dump 15 rounds really fast into the Ogre, and then manage the Axiom bolts and throw some damage in afterwards. It's literally about a third of his damage. So, I mean, if I'm soloing it, yeah, it is 3 phases, but it is like dump it, you know, manage the Axiom bolts and rinse and repeat. So like, they're not bad. Like I was pretty down on grenade launchers for a little while, and they've come around.
Bro, I've literally I use them all the time. I mean, it's more effective because the way I look at it is, you know, you get more ammo. You can one shot if your placement is good. You know, if you place good, and the key perk for me is proximity. I believe it's proximity. Yeah. You know, and even with the nerf, it's still effective, man. So listen, I've been running roughshod with play of the game, you know, a good edge transit roll here and there, you know, like I said, as long as you spec out for the most part for what you call it, proximity. If you get that middle perk, I believe it's like a middle perk, and then regular perks I've been kind of specking. Rampage is really nice if you get that. So anything with quick draw, snapshot, you know, that kind of flow, man, you can start racking up. So yeah, people sleep. That's my go-to heavy where I can free up my exotic slot for other things.
Yep. So I mean, grenade launchers, give them a shot, guys. They're actually not too shabby, and this one isn't quite as terrible to get. So I mean, it is still the longest quest chain because it's that pinnacle crucible activity. But you reach step 1, get glory rank of brave. So you got to do that. It's not that far in. What is that? Just rank 2, basically.
Yeah, that's that too. Yeah.
Then you need 750 total points. You can either do, and this is where I kind of, I think some people are like going to be like, it's not quite as elite, but giving people options, I think, is okay. 750 total points in Crucible, earn grenade launcher final blows. Now it's going to take you 75 kills in competitive, or it's going to take you a lot more in non-competitive. So it's 3 points for non-competitive, 10 points for competitive. So definitely a difference leaning towards competitive. Then you've got rapidly defeat groups of 2 or more players. I think this is going to be the tough one.
Yeah, with grenade launchers. Double plays. To be real, I don't know about that one. Yeah, I didn't catch that. That's a good catch right there. Like, that's tough. How many they want?
So if you're going non-competitive, you get 2 points for double plays. So you're gonna need 100. And then subsequent kills after double plays is 1 point. So if you get a rocket launcher heavy pull, what do you get? 4, maybe 5? Like, not too many. You're gonna have to go bam. I mean, you're gonna have to be quick. So you're literally gonna have to, like, hopefully either be in control, find people on points, but you're like, those single shots aren't gonna do it. You're almost gonna, it's gonna be a weird use of like hoarding your heavy ammo, waiting for groups, and then praying you can kill more than one. It's like a weird drive, and competitive seems like even more difficult because that's so much more
question. Is this is not grenade launcher double plays, just double plays, right?
I don't know the way it reads.
Rapidly defeat groups of 2 or more opponents. If it's
maybe not like they have grenade launcher up here, maybe it's just double plays in general, which
it's got to be
then supers and stuff will help that a little bit. So that's not so bad. If it was just grenade launchers, that might be
no doubt. Nova Warp FTW.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I see how it goes.
That's that whole path for me. Oh, I'm good, baby. I'm good. Nova Warp. I get 2 of you through a wall.
Earn calculated trajectory medals. I forget what that is. Is that like 3 on a clip, basically?
Yeah, what is it?
I can't remember what that one is.
But
if you do it non-competitive, you have to get 100 medals. If you do it in competitive, you've only got to get 20. So they're definitely steering you towards competitive to make those points a bit more valuable. So, and then you got to reach Fabled again, same as before, just like Luna's Howl. So once you reach Fabled, you can come down from the mountaintop and get your grenade launcher. But that's literally it. But those are the 3 big ones for pinnacles. You got Strikes from Zavala, we've got Gambit from the Drifter, and this mountaintop grenade launcher, giving us stuff to grind for. I mean, these are the things that we want for an in grind. Like, okay, so I've got my stuff. What do I work on now? Worked on the raid a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go work on strikes. This is actually the first time I feel like I've actually have incentive to run strikes ever.
Yes,
because I mean, like, getting powerful gear for that one, you may do that 1 or 2 or 3, and then you're like, I'm out, I'm done. I don't care for it. This is like a time to actually run 40. Yeah, there's going to be a few more people running strikes for a bit. So, that's pretty cool. But that is basically what we missed last week, guys. So, wanted to catch you guys up on that. Pinnacle weapons got some grinding to do. Now, I mean, if you're gonna no life one of these things, you could probably get like 40 matches in a day. Your eyes might hurt after that. Yeah, but spread them out. my 2 cents is, I mean, yeah, like sweet business for Gambit is definitely probably going to be a thing to consider. Double auto rifles if you run like 1 in each slot if you've got those. So dig deep in your inventory, see what you got. But if you're brand new to this game on PC, well, you got to use what you got.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So
what else we got?
Here is the picture. Now, annual pass. We got more info in this dump than I know what to talk about. We have Black Armory, we've got Joker's Wild, and we've got Season of the Redacted. So big old discovery question mark here with this guy. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about. This wallpaper is out there, guys. If you do want it, go check Bungie's Twitter. This wallpaper is like pretty high res, looks pretty cool. So if you do want this one, I'm digging it. So
nice.
But before we get into that, we did actually get a patch Tuesday. So patch 2.1 is here. So we're going to go through these kind of piece by piece. I'm going to let you kind of fill in the pieces where you want to jump in.
Yes, sir, man.
Chaos Reach. I know this one's yours.
Yes. Let me get my hands ready. Let me stretch out.
Yeah.
Woo! All right. Chaos Reach, one of my favorite subclasses. So, yeah, it looks like they fixed an issue in which multiple Chaos Reach beams active at one time cause their visual effects to merge together. So shout out to Aston Cross. He had a funny joke with that. He said he didn't know mixing of the streams was an issue with Chaos Reach. Shout out that. Shout out to Cross. Yeah, shout out to Cross. So we got that. Then we got fixed issue on beams being able to penetrate friendly banner shield. So that's interesting. Fixed an issue where they did not damage taken blights. And the most important bullet, note, changes, they must have heard me, E. Changes to Chaos Reach cancellation will come with Destiny 2 Update 2.1.1, scheduled for the 4th. So that's next week on launch. Yep. I'm very happy. It is getting addressed. Shout out to Screen. He said, don't cross the stream. Yeah, we're not going to cross the streams, baby. We out here. Chaos Reach is going to get fixed. The key, though, Ebontis, for this is, again, that's a very powerful super. I have to admit. When you have geomags, especially.
It's insane. I've watched people do, like, just Gambit turns, those primevals turn into a joke.
Now, I have to be honest. They're going to have to be very conservative. Because Nova Warp, I'm just speaking from a Warlock perspective. Nova Warp right now is extra beastie. You know what I'm saying? And if this thing allows you to cut off at super cutoff, and you're just getting geomags and then you're topping it back off again, this could get broken. So I think they're going to go conservative, knowing Bungie. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just glad to see that the functionality on some level. Because to go back to from stopping a super at 80% to then go all the way down to almost.
I don't think they're going to do that. I remember previously when they were talking about, they're like, it's being efficient with your cutoff. Like you got to use some. If you cut it off too early, you're going to lose a lot. But if you cut it off late, you'll actually save some. So it's that manage of like. You might save like a quarter of your super, but it is still a quarter of your super that like if you want to melt a mini boss or a couple majors real quick, melt them down, turn it off, save a quarter, jump back into it a little quicker. So you actually have more options to like, well, I don't want to use it on these guys, but this one doesn't seem more big enough to use. You can get more uses out of it, especially running activities. So I think it's going to be, I think they've tried to balance that in previous stuff they talked about. So we'll see. Of course, they may have missed it. But we'll try.
So. Shout out to Yagami in your chat. He says he got Geomax yesterday. I'm jealous. And he said it feels like double the duration. Yeah.
It's stupid. I've watched that, just the primeval health on the other team go. Yes. I'm like, oh. Yeah. Usually what it is. So. Nova Warp. Fixed an issue with Nova Warp. Sometimes fail to detonate on release. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Sentinel, is that something you ever noticed or not really?
You know what's funny? Once in a while, I have noticed it. Yeah, yeah. It's like you're like, hold on, I know I detonated on like what's going on. This guy's not dead. So yeah, it glitches. I would say about 10% of the time. For the most part, it's effective. But I've seen that.
Sentinel, just an issue where the shields would actually like lose energy when guarding near friends. So it was kind of a weird like friendly fire situation. Spectral Blades got a big buff. I know, increased the reliability of melee attacks and the effectiveness of the stealth. So like. Stealth is like not going to pull as much energy. I've seen people definitely put in some work with Spectral Blade, so it got a decent buff. Burning Maul, and they just changed a couple of these Burning Maul and Thunder Crash to alleviate motion sickness. I guess they were a little crazy on camera effects, so those are taken care of. A couple exotic armor tweaks, just kind of balancing like Ursa Furiosa, so that super gain from guarding is more consistent between PvE and PvP, because PvP was broken to some people. Ophidian aspects not increasing melee range on various things. We've got lumifaction boosts. So fixed an issue in which buffs granted by Luna faction boost would last for only 15 seconds instead of a Well of Radiance instead of 30. So random little tweaks they're fixing with exotics. You got Warden's Law like fully got like switched.
Yeah.
So this is weird because I never got the curated
me neither.
4 times the charm, which no one will get anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
So triple tap is replaced with Feeding Frenzy now, which is actually the thing on machine guns, which is weird. And then you got 4 times the charm replaced with Zen Moment, which feels like a kind of a slap in the face for that gun.
Yeah, I know. I didn't like that.
So it has bullet contrails. I guess that's the trails behind it. Intrinsic perk text on the Warden's Law to distinguish it from aggressive bullet sidearms. So still going to be that like 2-tap little hand cannon, but it feels like it kind of got a hit in the face. And something I never thought was like, I never heard about Warden's Law being like, oh, this is the best thing in the game. Like something that was like just kind of in the mid-range feel is like it just got its knees taken out from underneath it. So
pretty much, yeah. Kind of weird.
This is one of those that's always kind of bugs me a little. I know why the damage is there, but I still think scout rifles don't have enough. High impact scout rifle damage increased by 1.87%. It's a very specific amount, which is weird, but they say basically it's possible if you were running high resilience to survive 3 headshots from the high impact scout. At this point, you can't. 3 headshots from high impact will kill you no matter your resilience. So basically, I guess what they were going for.
Yeah. I got to stop you for a second. This is the first time I believe they've mentioned high impact in conjunction with PvP, because before it was only specific damage to PvE mentioned, increase. So this is the first time I'm seeing, like as far as isn't this other Guardians for the first time in reference to high impact scouts.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I feel like they need to talk about them a little more. There's still a couple archetypes that need some love, but yeah, specifically like a class, like specifically high impact scouts versus PvP. Like this is a very specific change, so they going a little deep on the data there. Shotguns. This is going to change some people's thoughts here. Rapid fire frame shotguns now increase the reload of all shotgun shells when empty, which I actually kind of like that. If you dump it out fast, you can actually get it back quicker. On the other side, this definitely is going to be a trench barrel, which is what you guys all know and love from your Icolo shotgun. Trench barrel now deactivates after 3 shots. Trench barrel description updated to reflect new behavior. Also fixed an error where it was called out. Whatever. So now instead of your 8 shots getting your trench barrel perk, and being able to continually unload like Lunafaction, you get 3 shots, and then you're back in a normal damage range or damage amount. So what do you think that does? What do you feel?
Let's be honest, y'all. It had to happen. This is probably one, and I'm not a nerf guy, like when Bungie goes nerf crazy, but this is one nerf that had to happen, because the reality is, I've said it many flashpoints. You know my loadout. It was either that whatever my favorite kinetic was, escalation protocol shotgun, and energy and sleeper and heavy. I was just redundant with that build. It was just nothing more effective. So at some point you have to encourage variety. Now I still don't feel it's that bad. I mean, you're still getting the 3 shots with the the trench barrel. You're probably not going to be able to melt everything like you did before, but this is gonna promote diversity in that slot. That weapon is too dominant in that slot. The way you guys give me crap about Sleeper and Gambit, this thing was a jack of all trades in everything. Like even in the Crucible, that Ikelos was putting in work. Now, granted, Trench Barrel had no effect there, but it's just one of those things that it was just so overwhelmingly better than anything else in the slot. Now I can dust off my age-old bond. Now you can, get your trust out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna, promote some diversity. It's needed. I'm not a nerf guy, but this is one that it was just like, just a slight little thing and boost every couple other things up in your energy slot, and I'm cool. But what do you think? Did you feel like they didn't need to do it? Like where are you at with the whole?
I mean, I'm with you. And I forget. Just it's like, as you said, you felt like if you weren't using that gun, you were missing out. And there's a point where we like different things are going to have different benefits, and nerfing is something they typically don't want to do. But when something is so dominant to a point of like you feel like you can't use anything else, you kind of break a whole weapon slot. And I think this is a way to, like, if you want to run it, you're still going to get 3 out of 8 shots. You still want to run a full auto shotgun. You're going to dump a lot of damage. It's just not going to be a broken level of damage. So if you want to run something else, you can. And honestly, I know people are going to hate it. People are going to be sad about this one because it's like, oh, this is my go-to. And it's like, yeah, it's everyone's go-to. What about all those other weapons you pick up? You don't even look at them or consider them. And especially with, Black Armory coming out, they want to make more things viable. They want more things to be an option. So it, as you said, it had to happen. It needed some way to bring it in check. And I think this is a way that if you want to dump your, 18 shots, your first three are going to get you a lot of damage. It's still a shotgun going to hit pretty hard. You're just not going to do as much. So, I mean, as you said, it's still a decent shotgun, but it's just not kind of broken beyond all belief at this point.
Yeah, it needed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them for making the decision. And, like I said, I mean, I know some people are really hurt behind it. Shout out to Yagami to 2004 in your chat. He said he saw it happening. He said basically it was like Forsaken Meta was basically Fatebringer, Black Hammer, and Galley days. Yeah, it was like whatever your best kinetic was, EP, shotgun, sleeper, you had everything covered. You know what I mean? Now you got to think about that loadout. And that's what we have to do. And it's still good. You're still going to be beast. It's not going to be, whatever, but it's going to promote some diversity in the energy slot. So I'm with it.
Yep. Submachine guns, slight increase to range. Machine guns, slight increase to accuracy. Got a couple exotic changes. Prometheus lens, got a little boost to damage. Hard light could over penetrate banner shields, which is weird. Momentum Mori, this is kind of I'm okay with it. Because the Momentum Mori is from 6 down to 5 bullets, but when you get it, you don't have to have all of the Momentum Mori bullets gone to reload the perk. So, it dropped one, but you'll honestly probably have it more frequently anyway. So that one seems like kind of a weird switch, but you'll have it more. I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of another. Whole bunch of other fixes in here. If you guys want to read them, I'm not going to go through every single one of these. They just kind of polish some things up and change some things there for basic changes. Crucible top 1. I was very excited to see this. Mayhem will return as a 6v6 rotating playlist with scoring support for new Forsaken supers. Nice. Thank you. I have been waiting for Mayhem. I cannot honestly fathom how much insanity is going to be going on in there because you're going to have Chaos Reach beams and Blade Barrages flying back and forth. And then there's going to be some invisible Spectre Blades that stabs everybody in the back. Honestly, Mayhem, it's the fun mode that I wish was in there all the time because sometimes I just want to burn off steam. Constant space magic is an amazing way to do it. So
Facts. And low key, that's what saved. I would say saved, but it really helped reinvigorate. I think that's when Bungie started to get back on track when they basically put it back in the playlist during the vanilla D2 Crucible days. And I thought that was a great move because at the end of the day, they realized, forget balance for a minute. Let's just have some mindless fun. The way Crucible was structured in the beginning, it was just such a 4v4 competitive, sweaty. People got tired of it. Remember, the time to kill was too high. There was so much things that were wrong at that time. And in my opinion, them putting Mayhem at that, they started to get a feel of what made their game fun again. And I'm so glad to see it come back because to be honest, full disclosure, I live in the Crucible. And even in its current state, when you play quick play in the term itself should just be quick, fun, get in there, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But this thing was it was just way too sweaty. So that's good to see, man. I'm very happy that Mayhem's coming back. Huge fan of Mayhem.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Honestly, I just wish it was one of those things that was in the quick play rotation, play control, play clash. Oh, that one showed up. Speaking of what else showed up in quick play, Lockdown and Showdown will return as rotating playlists and have been added to private matches. I played a Lockdown match just in quick play. It just showed up. So nice. Lockdown is kind of interesting because it's like Control, but it's based in rounds and you kind of it's your time that you hold the points. But if you go for a triple cap, round's over. So that was actually kind of cool. I actually had some luck in there, so I won my 2 games I played, and I was like, I'm out. I'm going to go do stuff. I took my 2 wins and ran. But honestly, the 2 games that I played, I feel like I had an insane amount of kills from everybody else. I'm like, Am I in a weird matchmaking? I'm not amazing Crucible. Never going to claim to be. I have moments where I'll like go off for a game and then I'll get humbled by the next game. So it's like I'm all over the place. But the 2 games I played, I felt like I was playing against blueberries or something because I had like twice the kills of everybody else. So it was like, everybody's like 15, 16, and I'm sitting there with like 30 kills. I'm like, what happened? I'm not that. I was like, believe me, it is not me. It's like sometimes I'll run with my brother and just his Crucible ranking, I'm sure, is just probably not that high. And I'll play with him. I'm like, oh, I get to have a little fun in here now and just go tear some people up. And then I'll go back and play by myself and be like, oh, yeah, I still suck. Like, it literally swings that far. So, I mean, skill-based, trust me, I feel it sometimes for sure.
Absolutely.
But it was kind of cool. Just like, it is still kind of annoying to me, though, that everything is still based on, like, it's some variation of control. Like, I'm missing the objective mode still. I want like rift or capture the flag or eat something. I want some object like King of the Hill. Like, can you imagine King of the Hill on most any of the maps where it's just like 1 point, hold it for a little while, okay, now it moves. Huge shift, different spawn points, and just like you're like clashing over that one area of importance. Because if it's 3, you split up, but that holding that 1 point, like you got to stand in there to hold your points. Like it makes it tough. It would change up like different supers you'd use for the bubble. You'd have like rally barricades more, losing your wells more, stuff like that would like give you a reason to kind of run a little different. So
I agree. I'm with you, man.
Scorched has been added to private matches. I love that because that was just crazy.
That's your baby.
I was just like, it was fun. It was another one of those stupid fun ones. Everyone has a Scorch cannon, explode things. And it's actually harder than it seems because if you're jumping in the air, it's hard to direct hit some of those things. So yeah, it's entertaining. Shax has new lines for Crucible, which is cool.
Always good to hit Shax go crazy. He said some new stuff to me recently. He said, like, I went off and he was just like, he started naming all these warlock terms. He was like, something of the Paraxic Fire, something of the Order. Ikora will be. I was like, yo, what's going on, Shaq? So it's always cool when they do that with him and Salad. I love it. I love those little touch. And to think when Destiny first debuted, I thought it was the weirdest thing. And now I've turned into loving that in any type of competitive or PvP. So I think that's pretty cool.
Nice. They have more medals in there, which I think what you're literally talking about. Machine guns are a thing now. They've got a couple gold tier medals, so those are new ones for people to go hunting for. Iron Banner now awards unique Iron Banner themed medals, so just kind of more awards, little tweaks and stuff like that overall. Ranks got to change, so now they're subdivided into the 3 ranks similar to Gambit, so you get your like Fabled 1, 2, and 3 stuff like that's going to be in there. Valor and Glory will not subdivide the Legend rank. Valor does not require players to win at Legend, which is, I don't know if that's a tweak or not, but maybe a minor one. Shax has a new rotation of items available for direct purchase. So he'll have like, I think he's got boots is what he started with. I don't know if it changes on the daily or weekly, but he's going to have some stuff in there as well. And then that pinnacle weapon will be in his inventory to work on. So you start the quest for the Crucible grenade launcher through Shax. So if you want to go there.
Nice.
For Gambit, we've got adjusted infamy rank rewards to be kind of a better match for Valor and Glory. You get your subdivision ranks, things like that. And then, of course, you've got just the fact that the bounties now give you double infamy. So every bounty that was 15 is now 30, 50 is 100, 150 is 300. They all give you more. So the bounties have a little more weight to them. It's actually insane to go pick them up. Other than that, there is a new rotating bounty in there for killing primeval envoys. Thank you. That's just one of those things that's not. This is where I was like, Bungie makes really cool things, but for the newbies who like, they need the tutorial in there. They need you to like, hey, you've played a match of Gambit. I think I said this last time. Come back out and be like, hey, when the primeval spawns, killing these envoys, the little wizards they spawn with, they will give you a boost to damage on the primeval. Watch the ads when they come out. If you are like, when you get to round 2, or what is this, like, go and explain those pieces. Sometimes they'll do like the pop-up screen. Do that for like 2 or 3 click-throughs, like for new people playing Gambit, and be like, if you know what it is, cool. If you want to know all the mechanics, that'd be a great way to explain it in just like 3 or 4 pictures. I think it wouldn't be that hard. So.
Absolutely.
I have not played Gambit that much to know how the catch-up mechanics. Have you touched it yet?
I have not. I definitely, hold on a second. We got the cops coming.
Yeah. So Cognito got a new mic, so I know he's muting it right now. So joys of sirens coming through loud and clear. But once those pass by, he'll come back. But basically what happened, if you haven't seen, catch-up mechanics have changed. The trailing team will now only get 1 bonus stack. They will not get like 4, for example. The time before the stacks kicks in has been increased, so you actually takes longer for them to come in, which is kind of interesting. So like the longer you've got your primeval up, some of those stacks just come in time. So 22 seconds, now 32. So like you have more time to invade. You have more time for that tug of war to go back and forth. And it said primevals will hard ping less often to reduce stun lock against highly coordinated teams. I'm not sure what they mean there. I'm kind of confused. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, let me get to it. Repeat the sentence. Let's break this thing down, man.
Primeval will hard ping less often to reduce stun lock against highly coordinated teams.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I remember I think it was Fallout with these guys. They had some strat, and they were mentioning hard ping. So the vibe I got there is so I don't want to say it's an exploit, but there is something in play that guys would do, and then it would kind of like de facto get to this point where you can if you time things perfectly, that you can actually melt a boss like really super fast. So I'm thinking that's part of the mechanic, but you know, listen, I like the fact that they're addressing Gambit, you know what I'm saying, in any sense. You know, they're still tweaking it. The catch-up mechanics have definitely got a little weird because it was definitely, I did feel at some point it was favoring the losing team that's not necessarily getting the objective to stay in it and just always steal. So, you know, I'm with the changes. Let's see how it plays out. We obviously know we in the season of the Drifter, Gambit's going to get expounded upon even more. It's a great mode. They still got to find that happy spot. I don't think it's like in a terrible spot right now, but I think they're still trying to find that balance. So I'm with it, man. Let's see what it is. And as far as that hard ping thing, I do remember it was kind of like a coordinated time team effort that can really melt and give another team an advantage. So good to see that they acknowledged it.
Yeah. Yagami saying actually when you tether both envoys, it counts as killing them. So that may be a way to kind of get that extra like bonus or stagger or something like that. That tether may be doing something weird. I'm also wondering if it's just talking about almost just the stagger of the primeval as well. So
could be. Yeah, could very well be.
All of those things, but it just sounds like, I mean, if you go crazy coordinated, you still might be able to melt. I mean, Geomags is just still crazy with melting point, but just sounds like it's going to give just the teams that are really coordinated a little more effort to work through. Maybe not that much, but maybe just a little bit more, you know, time for somebody to come in and maybe not watch that boss damage go from 100% to 0 in the blink of an eye. I can't tell you, I'm like playing with like random people and we're like, oh, let's get ready. Okay, let's get ready. And it's over. I'm like, what the? I just blinked. Like, yeah. So like just the speed that those bosses go down is nuts.
Absolutely.
Clan bounties. Make sure you guys are doing those because it is a new season for clans. So you reset all that stuff out. Items, basic patches here. I'm not going to go through. I don't think there's too much in detail. And then random things for PC. So nothing too much here as we follow through the rest of this. These are just patch notes. If you guys want to get into the nitty gritty, read the bottom part of this. I'm not going to bore you guys with those. Now, on Bart. The road ahead.
Let's get to it. This is what we're here for. Let's get to it.
So before we go into this thing,
yes, sir.
How you feeling after watching this thing?
I felt good. But actually, I should ask you how you're feeling because the reality is, let's keep it real. You were very concerned.
I wanted just info.
No. See, I'm not gonna let you off the hook, bro. Let me tell you this.
That's literally what I kept saying. I want info. I want info. I want to know what's going on. I want info.
Let me pull up the Twitch. Ebontis' Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
All right, listen, Ebontis' Twitch. This man continued for the last 2 weeks to say, "Hey, what is going on?" We've got no information, which he was right. I'm not gonna say he was wrong for feeling concerned. But it was one of those things that I'm like, I got you. You know what I mean? It's coming. And I said it's just like, you know, it's just going to be a different cycle because the vibe, which I think I was right in the sense that, you know, we're so used to the traditional season pass mode where it's that big splash, you know, the big promo cycle for about 2 to 3 weeks prior. And this seems to be that whole different approach, which I did say, with annual pass, which is like all this specific content. And now it's looking, you know, day and date. You got this, you got that, you got this, you got that. So yeah, man, it's real interesting. After seeing the vidoc, to your question, felt good, man. It felt good. It felt like how I felt when, and I remember I said this before, that it doesn't get enough credit. Warmind set the tone, in my opinion, as far as, you know, consistent content, and then Forsaken just took it to the next level of consistent, difficult, attainable things and stuff like that, and things to do each week. And I just felt like, okay, we're gonna get that. We got some cool things coming back. We'll get more into deeper into those things that are coming back, and we'll get deeper into lore stuff as well. But overall, I felt solid. Am I looking for Forsaken levels? Probably not, but I do feel there's a lot packed in here. So it's gonna be curious to see. So let's get it back to you. You know, now that you've watched that vidoc, you've had a chance to digest. Where's your mindset? Are you relieved? Are you where you at with this?
Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. A couple of you guys tuning in. For me, I'm pretty positive about all that I've seen so far. I like little tidbits of information that if you don't, like, you know, watch this thing like 4 times, you may have missed just in quick passing. Little things about like new perks coming, the end game being a good thing. The quote that they literally said of Forsaken was a camp. They wanted it not to be a campaign with an end game, but an end game with a campaign. So by that basically means the focus is on the end game. Campaign is going to get you through. And honestly, like, this is one of those things people give Call of Duty a lot of crap about. Whereas 95% of your time's played if you play that game for any extended period of time at all. It's always in PvP. It's always in multiplayer. Or for something like this, where's our time spent? You're going to do those missions once, or if you play your characters 3 times, and then you're going to be spending time on the end game, the grind, now, you know, your pinnacle weapon, stuff like that. And that's what they're giving us more of. So there may be less story. There is some story in here, which I'm not going to go into deep of, but I promise you there's some story. There may be a giant spoiler piece towards the end of this. We will give you a huge warning when that comes, if we get there. But just the fact that they've got a plan for more in-game activities, more stuff for us to do, talking about matchmaking, mods, perks, stuff we kept literally discussing over the past couple of weeks. Most of it's in there. It's like they know what we want. They know the grind needs to have legs and a reason. And they kind of phrase it pretty funny. They don't want one big Thanksgiving feast and then you take your nap and you go play other games for a while. They want that buffet. They want that long term, that spread, that continuous drip feed of stuff to do. And I mean, from what I can tell, and this is me, like $35 on annual pass, and I bought the combination. So for me, it's actually only 30. Like, it sounds like, I mean, I already put, I don't know, thousands of hours in the damn Destiny games anyway. It's worth every penny to me. And honestly, from what it looks like, from what I can see, I can hopefully happily say, yeah, go spend your $30 if you enjoy this game. You don't have to, like, no life the things. First off, enjoy them. And say, like, in February when Anthem comes out, take a little break, go play Anthem. It's going to be a PvE game. There may get to a point where you, like, you know, slow down on stuff to do there, turn back around, jump back in for what comes out, come back for a week. I mean, they're going to give you stuff to come back and forth to, which I think is going to be the biggest key of, like, hey, this might be my thing I play on Tuesday or Wednesday, but then I turn around and maybe, you know, Anthem has something going on over here, or Division has something going on over here. They're doing it to where you've always got a reason to potentially come back, and they're going to kind of make you, like, test and see, like, hey, how much do you have to do in these other games?
Right. Let me break that down even further down, because shout out to the dude in the chat. Good seeing you, bro. Yo, please watch Tower Talk, man. Love this guy. I swear we got to get you on the show, bro. I know you probably work.
Yeah, seriously, I'm surprised we haven't actually yet.
Dude and Piccolo, those are my guys. Shout out to Tower Talk. They have a great Destiny podcast, kind of 2-man format like we do, and good guys. And he made a comment. He said, love to focus on the end game. That's what I was trying to say with Warmind. Like, Warmind brought the end game back. And then he was saying that the Celebrate expansions have been Taken King and Forsaken. Leave the story-driven expansions to the fall update. Content activities should be the focus between. And he's right. And the thing about it is, Forsaken was in such a good place that it really made, because the old Destiny style of DLCs, like the dude is saying, is like, you blaze it out, you have that chunk, and then like that Thanksgiving feast, you're fat. All right, I'm done. I can go play something else. I got everything done. But this steady drip feed, and these are still good chunks. It's like there's always something to come back with. So Forsaken was probably the most I've played Destiny in forever. Like, I just couldn't stop. 1 week it's this, then it's Shattered Throne, then it's that, and it's just something always going on. And I feel that Bungie has got it now. Like, they're in pocket now. Like, they know, this is what they want. Like, they finally, I think they're there. You know what I mean? So I'm on it, man. I think this is a good, looking at, this calendar, what we're seeing already, when we get into the dates and stuff like that, I'm very curious. You know what I'm saying? It's that shout out to Silent Shadow. Yeah, they finally hit that sweet spot. I completely agree. He said Horde FT. No doubt, Silent Shadow. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I think they're there, man. This is, for the first time, I felt confident. I was like, I think we're okay. I think we're okay, and that was ultimately what the Vidoc did for me.
Yeah. So without playing the whole thing for you guys, I'm just going to go through and kind of talk about points. I went through and kind of pulled them out, basically. So, I mean, they basically phrased it this way. They're no longer doing DLCs. They're no longer doing those big campaigns. And even the dude said it right. Leave the story stuff. They're going to do that for your big annuals. The big pieces of like September drops. That's going to change your story. That's going to make your progression into the next like giant evil in the world that we're probably going to fight. They're going to give us content of stuff to do, activities, different ways to grind. All that stuff's going to be coming. So seasons, they have their free stuff, annual pass. They're going to add on more in-game activities, more and more things for us to do to get that grind going. Good stuff. First off, power cap going up to 650. What do you think? Do you think it's enough?
Obviously 50 always seems small for guys like us. Know what I'm saying? But hey, at the end of the day, it's going to be more about the content. The number, that I don't care about that as much as I used to now. Like, it's more about what's being offered, and that I'm excited about. Dude has a question for us. He says, if I got a question, he said, regarding that calendar, because strike missions have been shoehorned in as campaign missions, how do you think they'll add new strikes, if at all? That's a good question. What you feel?
That's a good question. Actually, if we're getting strikes, I honestly don't know if we are. It's kind of an interesting thing.
I know.
Like, I haven't seen a mention of those specifically. I mean, we'll get to it, like the forges, the other bigger activities, but I honestly don't know if I've seen strikes. And that's kind of one of those things I feel like we need. Yeah, we do need one or two. Like, it may not have to be a ton, but if there's a couple more in the rotation, I mean, if you're going to have these Vanguard pinnacle activities and I'm going to spend my time in strikes, it will get old playing like the same. I mean, there's 14. There's a decent amount of strikes, but I mean, even if it's got to be like one or two, or even release one at the start of a season and release one in the middle. Like, you can spread them out over time. But I think strikes are one of those things they can't just like let fall off to the wayside until next September, because that's going to be really weird if they do. Yeah,
I think that's the small misstep if we're going to nitpick.
Yeah, if they're not there, then yeah.
I agree.
I'm with you on that one. So for the 50 power cap, we'll kind of get to it a little bit later. But soft cap, still 500.
Yeah.
So if you are 600, it's still going to be powerful engrams. In-game content is your way to grind up. We'll kind of get to other level requirements and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, you're not going to get a soft cap a little bit higher. There's a couple tweaks to help with, getting up to about 550. I think they're going to give some boosts. But if you're up to 600 now, you're going to be going real slow. So I think Silent Shadow literally just said the same thing I did. So yeah, it's going to be a slower grind to get to 650, which again, it's kind of what we're going for. If we get, get everything too fast and too quick, we lose our reason to grind. So also they mentioned forges, which are the new thing for Black Armory, and we'll get into a bit more detail on those, but basically they're a horde mode based experience. They've got waves of enemies that you have to keep fighting through. So truly horde mode, trying to defend this thing. And you actually turn into the blacksmith on this one. I kind of like the way they describe it. Forges are going to be something where you've got waves of activities, you're getting components to build these weapons that you're trying to do, and then you actually have to go put the weapons into the forge, defend it while it sounds like it's doing this thing. I mean, you're going to be the new title for this expansion is blacksmith. You're literally you are the blacksmith. You are making the weapons. So what do you think about that? What do you feel in these forges so far from the little blips we kind of get from the video?
Listen, I'm a sucker for horde mode. I don't know if I've told you that. Like horde mode, first of all, co-op in general, that's why Destiny just appeals to me on a fundamental level. But horde mode, dude, like that's my thing. I love setting up shop, getting in defensive stances and hunkering down. So now you're throwing this whole forge mechanic on stuff. I'm super excited. And the most important thing is matchmaking, baby. Oh, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't got there yet, but you got it.
I got it. I had to do it because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, great activity, escalation protocol. You know what I'm saying? No matchmaking. Like, I'm so glad that's going to take this to the next level. And if there's enough to do, and that, like, the main problem that we had with Blind Well was also specific rewards in said activity.
Right.
Now we're forging and doing stuff there. So I'm cool. I am cool with all of this. Yeah, man. This sounds like this might be the mode for me. So I'm very hyped to put that through its paces.
Yeah, so we got new title, you've got your forges, you've got the Black Armory, of course, they talk about, if you guys have seen from, you know, the giant picture on the thumbnail. This is Ada1. She is the kind of one who runs the Black Armory, and she's not too much a fan of Guardians right now. Literally, the little clip we get is, you don't belong here. She doesn't trust Guardians, but she does need our help. They said they've been trying to keep these weapons away from the Vanguard because they don't trust them with them. So... but at this point, I guess there's been enough of a shift or something's happened because they need our help to go out into the world and refire these forges. So there's going to be some little campaign story or incentive to go do these things. There's going to be some maybe voiceover, something going on. So it's not going to be like full 12 mission campaign or anything like Forsaken, but it's probably going to be a few or maybe one intro for each of the forges. There's 4 of them, I think. So you've got quite a bit to do, and there's going to be a little tie-in to bringing this new faction and bringing the lore in, and I think it's pretty cool. So,
side note, what do you think happens with faction rally?
We're gonna get to the content calendar, but we can jump onto that now because they are not mentioned at that. And okay, fine.
Let's talk about the elephants in the room.
We'll get to the content calendar a little later, but there are 2 things not on there. One, faction rallies. Now, they said they want those things tweaked until they like them, figure out what they do with them, make them actually serve a proper purpose. The other one, you want to say it? Because I know you know what I'm talking about.
Where's the trials, man?
There you go.
Where's Osiris at? I don't want the crazy chick now. But if it's the 9, it's the 9. But I mean, listen, I know they're working on it, but they did mention, I believe I did see it in a Twitter post. I'm gonna say
that was from
Cosmo, yeah, or Damage, one of those guys. But yeah, I mean, I low key miss faction. I want my new Monarchy shaders. I'm running low. I'm running low on that red and gold goodness, man.
You can pull them out now. You have a collection.
I know. I'm just joking. But all jokes aside, it's just like, you know, I like the concept of it. And, you know, the real talk, though, the real reason why I'm like, what's going on? How are people ever supposed to get those catalysts again?
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, they need to be attached or thrown out in the wild because, yeah, it's like Sunshot, Sweet Business, which literally I remember grinding for that one, which may be a bit more beneficial now.
Graviton.
And then, what was the other one?
Graviton.
Oh, Graviton. Yeah. Which has pretty much fallen off. I haven't used that thing in ages. So
low key, I used it. That was the last thing I did before on console before I got switched over. It's still good, man. It's just not as fast as like Bygones and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out to the dude. You're gonna stop this new Monarchy slander, and as he's ranking, he said Dead Orbit is great.
Greater than Drag.
Drag is greater than Future World Cup. Oh, okay. I see where he's going.
Yeah, pretty much Dead Orbit is good, and everything else is a dumpster fire next to the Drag. So
Dead Orbit, they're a bunch of deserters. You guys are deserters. You guys want to get when it going gets rough, you want to run, jump in a
No.
let me do some Dead Orbit slander right quick. You guys live at the ready at the airport on the tarmac. I love the dude. He knows I'm messing with him. Continue.
So what else we got? So there are 3 families involved in the Black Armory. There's a point in the viaduct they actually kind of show their banners, which look really cool. They're each of the symbols you guys will see. If it's actually on the chest of right here, you'll see these little symbols. These are actually the 3 little factions on the chest of 801. So those are going to be the ones kind of have their involvement in the weapons, kind of have different feels and designs and things like that. So those are going to be cool. Now, small spoiler warning right now. I'm going to put a little token in here as well for weapons that we got coming. You guys want to hear them?
Let's go.
You want to know? All right. So we have 3 main ones that we know of. 1 exotic quest, which we'll get to a little bit later. But from Black Armory, there are different names to the forges, and we can actually probably scroll down to see this a little better. We'll come back up. Don't worry. So you got the Volunder Forge, the Gofanon Forge, the Izanami Forge, and I don't know what Niobe Labs is. I'm guessing that's the 4th one, but that one is not listed as a forge. That's why I don't know if it's going to be a little different, but it still looks similar, so I'm sure it is one of them. One of the guns specifically is like Izanami. That's the sniper rifle that you guys have seen everywhere. It's literally this thing that she is holding. Now, the way this works, it's a sniper rifle, but there is a special reload. I don't know how the functionality on it works. It puts all 4 bullets of the clip into one special round, and it's so powerful it can body shot in PvP, and it's got damage that they say will keep up with Sleeper and Whisper and that for PvE.
Beast.
So I don't know what numbers this thing is going to have when you smash all those together, but it's going to be crazy.
Beast. Love it. Love it, man. It's very unique. Like the concept. I'm assuming you probably would be charged down the reload button, almost like a Borealis or a Hardlight.
Yeah, like hold it down for a little bit. Yeah. And they like do that, kind of do some animation to charge it up and get that shot in there. So
beast. And I like the fact that they're unafraid to put things on that level, right? Because we know, the Pinnacle Chase was obviously Sleeper. I mean, not Sleeper at
you
first.
You think this is going to be a heavy?
That's the vibe I'm getting, man. That's the vibe I'm getting. Wilhelm Scream says, #1 on his list unless Icebreaker comes back.
I think you're going to be waiting a little while on that one, Scream.
No, but I think we've got Data Miner saying... Oh, let me be quiet.
I don't like to hear about data miner stuff. Don't ruin things.
Yeah, I said nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's one of the cool ones. We've also got I don't know too much of the details on the bow, but we've got Thornish effect, like apparently a damage over time thing. It sounds like, because that's what Thorn was. So I don't know if it's specific, like if you get that full, like the pullback when you hit that like perfect shot. That's what does it or what, so we'll just have to see. There's also, I don't know why it's called a fusion rifle, but it's an arm launcher. Basically, it's this thing that basically straps onto your arm like an arm cannon.
The Mega Man gun.
Yeah, Mega Man solar like ball of tracking doom that leaves napalm on the ground. It sounds crazy. Like, I mean, if you fire this thing on a point in control, it seems like that thing's going to be shut down for a little while. Yeah. The Jotun, the Mega Man cannon sounds pretty crazy. So a large ball of fire that tracks to your opponent and leaves a ball of fire on the ground. Seems like it's going to be something worthwhile to go for. What do you think?
Broken, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how this thing fits in, especially if it's like fusion rifle. It may feel like it's going to be in an energy category. I'm like, dude, like, I don't know.
Energy, and it sounds like it got some like Will of a Thousand Voices feel going on. Like, this thing looks big. Like, shout out to Bungie though, man. When it comes to weapon design, the creativity that these guys have, it's true. They truly don't get enough credit. I mean, just when you think, you're like, a Mega Man gun, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, what is we have a sniper that is like, you got to give them credit, man. They're so creative. And think about all the other great weapons they've had preceding this, and yet they continue to pump out. And these are new things too, because obviously people been getting a lot of crap that, hey, last word, and I'm tired of the old exotics, but yeah, man, shout out to Do It Again. They're right up there with Insomniac when it comes to weapon design. I think they're even the best, man. When it comes to marketing, weapon design, man, I mean, it is just truly amazing what they come up with. So shout out to those guys, man. These weapons look fantastic.
Yeah. So those are the ones we know of. Sounds like there's one more floating out there. And since we're staring at the calendar anyway, we have an exotic quest. Most people seem to know what this is going to be. Spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1. Say it.
Back. It's back, baby. The word. We gotta preach the good word. The last word.
I was like, eventually say it, please.
Yeah, I say it now. But that was actually first exotic I ever had.
Really?
First exotic weapon I ever had was the last word. First one I fell in love with is, man. And I think it was just all about that top hand animation of just flicking, right? Like fly, hip fire. Then a smooth reload. It was such a beast. I mean, it had a run in Terror in the Crucible. We all know that. Yeah. Then the lore behind the gun, and how it all ties.
That's what we're gonna get. That's what I want, is this quest. I want to see the lore. Like, these are the ones where we can actually get a reason behind these guns. What is the lore? Why is this gun out there? What is the story behind it? Right. These are the things that make exotics truly have that feel. Like, if somebody explained to me the story of how Icebreaker, because that seems to be coming up quite a bit, just in general from Destiny 1, how does it have the function it does? Where did it come for? How was it built? Like, how does it regenerate? Like, what is going on in that damn gun? Like, that would be, I mean, those are little things. Like, somebody explains, like, maybe you take the gun to the Black Armory, and here's a sniper rifle, and she said, well, you go to the forge, you build this, like, energy cell that you put inside, and it's constantly, like, stuff like that, just to understand, like, guns like that. Because, I mean, we're so deep into these games anyway. It would just be cool to be like, hey, you got an exotic. Well, here's something, like, here's a reason behind it. Not just the lore tab, which is cool, but, like, how it came to be. That's why I'm looking forward to this. So, last word quest, it's going to be January 29th. So, they actually, I mean, this is literally the calendar for Black Armory. We've got a forge on launch. 3 days later, we've got another forge. We've got something I'll talk about in a little bit on the 7th as well. Literally a week later, we have the dawning starting. I don't know how long that's going to last, 2 or 3 weeks. We've got another forge the week after that, 2 weeks later, because you've got Christmas, or 3, I think, actually, for the other forge. You've got the quest towards the end of January. You've got Crimson Days coming later. I mean, this is outside of Christmas and a couple times off. This is continuous, like, stuff to do.
Yeah. Action packed, man. Action packed. Can't wait to get a hand on those different forges. Obviously, the draw, the huge quest, the amazing story between the Thorn and the Last Word, the 2 players involved. For those who don't know the Grimoire, that exotic probably has some of the best lore in Destiny. Though that whole story, and I believe they even set it up in Forsaken. When one of the killers
strike.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is great storytelling, great commitment to lore again. And it's good to see, like I said, they're in pocket right now. Bungie is in pocket when it comes to content right now. Have to give it. And it's great to see again, because when we started Flashpoint, we know how it was. So it just feels good to see them. They got their groove right now.
So that is most of season of the Forge. But let's look at the calendar so you guys can see basically everything we got. So season of the Forge is December through February. Pretty much going to encompass those 3 months. The dawning will be a thing. Power increase we talked about, 50 points, but no soft cap. Just always going to go up, going to take that in-game grind. New vanity rewards, new rank rewards, Iron Banner, Triumph, Lore Books, Crimson Days. That is stuff free for everyone. And I honestly like how the power increase is free for everybody. If you have Forsaken, that power increase just keeps going, even if you don't have the annual pass. So if you do Iron Banner, you're not going to be left behind. If you do those, like, Gambit, you're not going to be left behind when PvP matters. Like, that's kind of cool that they did that. It's not just attached, but your speed to get there, the activities you have, those are more. So
let me double down. I want to ask you about that, because I think we need to kind of set that up a little bit more, in the sense that double down on it. Like, this is new for them, right? Because ultimately in the past, they would always kind of power gate a non-DLC owner?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of still do it now with the old DLCs. If you don't have Forsaken, you're stuck at like 280 or 330 or whatever it
Right,
is.
right. So it's like, what do you feel about it? What do you think the approach is with them, with this new form of power progression when people, hey, they don't have that content. They don't have annual pass content. They're still able to level up and do stuff.
I mean, I'm on board. Like, if you gotten to the point of Forsaken, which is what you probably should be playing if you're playing Destiny, like, if you got vanilla, if you got the expansions, find a way, work an extra shift, beg your parents, get Forsaken. Like, that is the at least the base that you need to be at, because Destiny is not the same game without that content.
Facts.
The power boost that you switched over to PC. That power boost that you got got you through that year one that you're like, I don't know if I really want to do that. Forsaken's the good stuff. And that's where they want everybody to be, because they know that's the best this game has ever been. And that's what they want these people jumping in at. So with that being said, like, if you go 650, you go 700 in the spring, you go 750 over, the final redacted season, everybody can get to that level. Now, if you don't have the annual pass, it's going to take you a little longer because you have less places to get powerful gear. Still do your dailies, still do your weeklies, still do your, your raids, things like that. And that's one thing we'll kind of cover is like what's going to drop it, but you still have your way to get there. If you don't do, if you're a solo player and you just work on your grinds, you like your iron banners, you like your gambits, you're still going to be on a level playing field with everybody. And I think that's the best thing they could do. Same with the Crucible maps, because like, it doesn't matter what expansion you have. Everybody has the maps, bigger player base. It's good for everybody.
That's what I was just about to say. You literally took the words right out of my mouth. I think they're learning that the whole, gating is detrimental to that player base. And for them to make that sort of philosophical change is a big deal. I think that people are not really, stating this more as far as that. I'm glad you said what you said, because like I said, like, this is going to keep, if you log in the way since Forsaken changed, every day you log in, there was some type of powerful gear to chase and attain in some specific activity. So the people who don't have the annual pass can it'll be slower. Yes, they're not going to have all the sources that are, the season pass, annual pass, owners have, but they will definitely, find a way to still be able to kind of slow crawl their way. I had a quick question from, the dude. He said after the Dawning, he's really excited to see the Dawning Crimson Days. After how well Festival of the Lost worked out, do you guys think we'll get pinnacle weapons with those events, similar to how we got Horror Story with Festival of the Lost?
I think that, giving a reason to, like, honestly, if I did a couple matches or a couple rounds of the Haunted Forest, if that grind wasn't there for the 600 weapon, just to at least check that box as a collector, I didn't get all the masks, but I got a few. But that 600 weapon, just to make sure I had that one, gave me reason to at least play it longer. So, those are the things I think are starting to understand. We need those incentives. Because without them, like, I probably would have done a few rounds, played some, maybe got one of my masks leveled up and been like, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's like, it's a good base. Like, I like the Haunted Forest, the concept, but, they could do more. But I don't feel like I need to finish it up. Right. Now with that 600, I did get my 12 rounds in with randoms. Even if it is with randoms, I got my 12 rounds in so I could get mine and knock it out. So I'm hoping. Now, does it always have to be a weapon? No. But it does need to be something functional. If it's just a sparrow, if it's just a ship, then no. But honestly, I think, like, give us a sparrow, a ship, a shape, give us some other stuff as well on each of those, and that just gives us even more to grind for. If it's tokens for a weapon, okay. Well, once you got that one, if you want to keep going, you can get this, crazy looking ship, or this sparrow, or, a shader, or an ornament, or something like that. Stuff that doesn't break the game, but something functional for your character to use. Yeah. I think that's going to make those grinds more worthwhile, personally.
Yeah, man. I agree. Completely agree, man. Like this approach.
So, and then Silent Shadows in there asking, do you think there's going to be a special activity alongside the Dawning? I don't know.
Yeah. And he mentioned Sparrow Racing. Yeah, I missed Sparrow Racing. Did we get to the Scourge? Oh, we'll talk about that when we get to it.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know if they're always going to have an activity. Maybe they throw in So, I mean, you've heard about Arms Week. At some point, that may still fall in here. Faction rallies, trials. There's still things that are not on this calendar. Things can change. They know that. But the idea is there's still more things they can add. I don't know if there's always like Crimson Days is going to have its own PvP stuff. That's literally what it's always been. It's going to be the twos, stuff like that. I hope they tweak that a little more because just the twos still feels like it needs a little love. But the Dawning, I don't know what the activity would be, but man, I really hope they do something.
Yeah,
but it's kind of hard. Like, I mean, Haunted Forest, it made sense. It makes sense. The Infinite Forest, they could darken it up, have the Halloween theme. Cool. What do you do for the Dawning with like the holidays and New Year's?
I don't know. That's a good question. I was thinking about that, and Silent Shadow has me thinking about that too. Like, what do you do with the Dawning? Because it really, literally, it's a New Year's holiday celebration. Yes. So, and the snowballs. Yeah, I forgot about the snowballs. Are cool though. I like them,
but I mean, they were actually a lot more fun than I expected for function. But like, yeah, it's like some. I mean, the gameplay piece of that was kind of cool, but I mean. Maybe it's a snowball fight. Maybe it's like a paintball thing. I don't know. Snowy Forest. Snowy Forest.
I'm done.
Hey, it's the Vex. They can, they have options for everything, so it's possible. But I mean, that's all your free stuff. So down below, you got the annual pass. You've got the Black Armory weapons and gear, which looks like you've got some cool stuff to grind for. We know the specific ones from the forges. We have the very specific exotic quest, which we know this time is going to be Last Word. It's out there. Sorry, spoilers, what it is. New triumphs, lore books to work on. The forges we know are kind of gated over time. And this is kind of the thing they want to say. Things like Iron Banner. It's here for a week. It's gone. It comes back maybe another month. The Dawning. It is here for 2 or 3 weeks. Then it's going to go ahead and, then it'll be done for the year. Crimson Days. It's a short-term event. When a new forge opens, it's there for good. It's like adding a new raid option to your director. So if you're like, okay, I got this one. Okay, this forge is here. Well, now the next week I have 2 forges I can do. Like middle of January, I'm going to have 4 different forges I can do on top of a raid, another raid, in-game activities, challenges for the week, dailies, Dreaming City, Shattered. I'm like, this is a point where I have too much crap to do in one game. And I'm like, how the hell am I ever going to go? Because I really want to play Anthem. For my playstyle as a PvE person, especially somebody who's like, maybe I don't know anybody. Maybe there's not matchmaking. Some stuff I want to do. Me doing solo stuff, I'm like built for that game if it actually feels like it's going to fit that. So
let me tell you right now.
What?
I got a full disclosure. When Red Dead came out, when all these games came, okay, maybe you can say you're just a Destiny fanatic. And I'll eat that. I am. Destiny's my favorite game. There's no doubt about it. But when Destiny's good, I cannot sustain playing anything else for any extensive bit of time. You know what I mean? Like it was hard for me.
We are fanatics,
dude. It was hard for me. And Red Dead's amazing. You know what I'm saying? But when Destiny's good, man, it's hard to stop playing. And Forsaken in this pattern of content that they're going right now, I feel like I'm gonna be wrapped up in it again. Shout out to the dude. He's a great show. He's got to go to work. Thanks for stopping by, dude, man. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. But yeah, Destiny is life. It is true indeed. It's a full-time job. Like right now, it's a full-time job again. Wednesday, you got this. Thursday, you got that. Then this is coming. Then the raid's coming. Then that's coming. Then this event's coming. Then that, like it's look at this calendar. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean they're not even drip feeding. They're like force feeding it to us. It's there's a lot of stuff going on. So the other piece, and they mentioned it in the Vidoc. They have a new raid. Very specific wording there. Not raid. Lair. And they specifically actually have covered the distinction between the two. They say the red layers were subsections of a raid and an area, and everything was tied technically to the Leviathan, even though it was like felt kind of, shoehorned in there. But this is a new area, completely separate from anything before, not Leviathan, not Last Wish. This is a completely separately related experience. So it is its own raid. Now, is it going to be Last Wish with like 6 encounters, crazy length? Probably not that long. Is it going to be like Crota with like, 2 fights and then the boss at the end? Somewhere between that is what they say. There is a spectrum of raids.
Yes.
They're feeling like Wrath of the Machine for the action, back in the grind. Like you've got kind of you know, run and gun type moments. They even mention a little bit of like sparrows. It looks like, I don't know if there's an escape or a quick path, but yeah, you're gonna have to polish up on your sparrow skills. If you fall behind, it might be an issue. I don't know. So, but it is based in the Lost City, or the Last City, I should say. So pretty much right below the tower. It's the first time we really get to go down here outside of that mission where we go end up fighting Gaul. So it's probably going to have that palette, that theme. But I mean, you got buildings, you're in the city, and it is called Scourge of the Lost.
Of the past.
Scourge of the Past. Sorry. Yep, I was close. Scourge of the Past. So is that going to be, I mean, what are your thoughts, man? Like, this is a big one.
Let me tell you right now. I am so excited for this. And I'm not saying that it's going to be the best raid and all that, but from the standpoint of, I know we've had this discussion when we've ranked raids before, but Wrath of the Machine, I'm not saying it's the best raid, but I'm going to say it's the most fun raid I've had. I love that raid on a lot of levels. It's just a fun raid. And to go back to that, you know, semi-close location, the fact that it's not the goddamn Leviathan, put your hands together. Put your hands together. Woo! Oh, they literally answered my thing. And to be honest, I'm impressed it's not a raid layer. I thought it would be a raid layer. That would have been cool with it being a raid layer. But nah, man, this sounds really exciting. Definitely. Shout out Silent Shadow. If it's anything like Wrath of the Machine, I'm so exact. Like,
throw your money up. Throw your money
at the screen. Let me. Wrath of the Machine had the dodge balls. It had fun mechanics. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just real cool things. It was very rewarding. It hit a lot of notes for me on how raids that I like. You know what I'm saying? So that's just for me, where it's not like over mechanical and over. And I think they even said it in the VidOp. They alluded to the fact that, you know, it's gonna be some tension, some high fast action, because sometimes you just want to get in there and shoot some stuff too, where it doesn't have to be okay. You're on plate C and I'm on plate F, and like not everything has to be a complex algorithm just to beat it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's like they took Last Wish to like a level of detail and understanding symbols, and I feel like I have to write notes in the raid and do homework, and it's like
what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, this is more like understand the mechanics, play it out. If you're gonna have symbols, they're gonna be like red, green, and blue. It's not gonna be like four different shapes of dragons. Like, come on.
Don't get me wrong. There's places for stuff like that. I'm glad that you know, Last Wish and Taken King exists. The hardcore raiders raid, so to speak, right? They want to have their little algebra calculator and they want to draw their shapes and all that. Cool. The Wrath of the Machine is for me. I want to grab 6 of my guys. Let's jump on Spyros in an Akira looking city like the anime, right? The thing, it just looks fun. Look at that image of, scroll it down to that image of the underneath Scourge of the Past. We got just scroll down there. Yeah, that image with the building in that last city. Like that, doesn't that just, it just screams fun to me. Like, I want to get in that city. I want to be on the rooftops. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want to do in a raid. You know what I'm saying? So for me, this is definitely a raid I am super, super excited for. You know, I think the potential is there, you know, to be something special. And the last question I have for you is the name I thought was very interesting. Scourge of the Past. What comes to your mind when you hear that?
I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, I'm probably blanking on specific either bosses or like lore that we're fighting. I mean, do you know where they're going with this one?
I have no idea. I mean, the vibe I'm getting from the data miners are Fallen. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, I get a feel for Fallen just because it is the last city, and we don't really get Taken or Vex like in the city. Nobody's really that close. So I do think Fallen is going to be a thing.
Yeah, and then
I'm trying to think honestly, like we kind of had the Siva raid, but we've never truly had a very specific just Fallen raid, have we? Have we?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were all taking over. What was his name? Axis and
they were all Siva-fied, so it was like different mechanics for them.
I wouldn't be mad if it came back, but it would be cool to see something different too, just a regular falling situation. And then the curious thing is, what the hell are they doing there? Like, what's going on? Like,
yeah,
you know
like,
what I'm saying? Like,
why? What's going on? Are they trying to unlock something? Is there some weird piece of tech they found? Is there a space Dorito that crashed? Like, who knows? But I mean, what do you also think on the date? 3 days.
Yeah, we're back to old school. Russian run and gun. This, I guess, I'm not as upset this time, only because the power disparity is not as big as it was when Last Wish and Forsaken dropped. Like, we had such a big light jump to try to get to 600 or whatever it was, 5 whatever.
Yeah.
And the way it seems that it might be structured with, the engrams and prime engrams and power sources, I think we'll be fine to go from 6 to 650. I mean, obviously it's probably entry point. What you think it'll probably be like?
But what? I mean, they say it's 640.
640 recommended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, I guess the only reason why I'm giving them a slight pass, normally I would say, hey, it's too soon. But I guess the reason why I'm giving them a slight pass based on them saying, obviously not a raid layer, but not as big as Last Wish. So I'm okay. Am I thrilled? No. But am I like Tiki Torches mad? Burn the building down? Nah, I'm not there yet. But what are you? Are you burning it down? Are they messing it up for you?
I mean, I'm not burning it down because I'm honestly not going to be a day one raider. I don't have the team. I don't have the
Well, you got me now.
Hey, I got a few of you guys coming up to PC. More the merrier. Come on.
Oh yeah, baby, we covered.
Spoiler alert, going to be doing a couple giveaways for a couple PC copies as well.
Nice.
They're coming.
Nice.
I got to get my hands on them first.
Hey, no worries. You let me know. I'll tell Attic and the crew, make sure they all enter. My stragglers, all the console stragglers. Gotta get them on board.
But for me,
all right, let me hear it.
Think about how many powerful rewards you can get in 3 days.
No, you're right.
So you can do Dreaming City. You'll have your Ascendant Challenge. You'll have your powerful Wanted Bounty. You'll have 3 daily challenges. You'll have your weeklies. But again, how long is that grind when it is just powerful stuff to make that leap to, I mean, how high do you think you're going to get? 615?
Yeah, 620.
620. Like, you're going to be under-leveled for this, and I think that's what they're going for.
That's what they want. Think about it.
That's what they've even said about, like, the Forges, too. Like, you will be under-leveled when you start, when you get higher level, when you learn the strats. Yeah, they're going to get easier, but they want these things to be a challenge when you start. And that makes sense.
Absolutely.
They don't want these things to be a case. Like, people are going to be doing that Go Fan and Forge first, see if they can get anything else, and then go into the raid. Some people will. So.
No, I agree. I think so. I think it's just making my decision now that I'm starting a kindergarten on PC. I think I'm going to have to go Well of Radiance again, just because I'm going to be so under-leveled to try to keep myself alive and keep everybody else alive.
Yeah, I mean, that Well of Radiance is huge, helps out your team. So even if you're under, you do more for teams. And if you're going for that in-game stuff, especially in a 3-man of people who don't know what the hell they're doing, especially if you're match made with idiots, it's going to happen.
Preach.
And that's one of those things. I'm hoping the Black Forges have the way they did the way they did Infinite Forest. Haunted Forest, I can't talk. Have the solo option or the match made or non-match made option. That's what I want, because shout out to Esoteric. I know we talked about him before. Dude's a monster. But by the way, guys, he's also at 95,000 subs.
Oh yeah,
throw a little love his way, because I know Fallout. I was following him. He just cracked 100,000 subs. It is a huge deal. Get your YouTube button. So if you guys haven't seen Esoteric, I know some of you guys come to me for solo content, and believe me, I appreciate it. We have different styles, but the dude's just a monster at what he does. So yeah, go give him a little love. If you haven't subbed to his channel, I want to see him get 100,000 as well. I just wanted to send that out in the universe, guys, because
shout out to SO. Yeah, he's a beast.
Just crushes it. So he deserves that one.
Facts.
But somebody like him, and somebody like me, it's like, I want to go challenge myself and see if I can solo one of these. I don't even know if it's possible.
No, it's probably not.
But if it is or isn't, see if it is. Like, give those people that option. If you only match make, you take away that solo queue. And it's just nice I just hope they give you the option. That's all I'm kind of hoping for.
I agree.
Sorry, I had a window over. I think I missed my entire chat in here in Twitch. I'll catch up, guys, in a second.
No worries, man.
So, Season 2 season 6.
Mm-hmm.
Season of the Drifter. I want you to break down this next one. Give me a second to catch up on my chat here. So give us a little love. What do we got for Season of the Drifter?
All right, the Drifter. So it looks like, now as far as you just want me to break down from the updates to the annual pass content, that kind of
just kind of go through what we're getting. Same thing we did.
Oh, man. Yeah, it looks like so. So we got Gambit extended upon private matches and new maps. So private matches, huge deal. We have another exotic quest. We have a spring event. We've got power increase, which is to be expected. New triumphs and lore books. New vanity rewards. Interesting. New rank rewards. Iron Banner. So that's pretty much the crux of it. However, let's see. We got we got more with the content. Obviously, the Joker's wild weapons and gear. So I'm curious about that. Another exotic quest. New triumph lore books. New Gambit experience. Curious.
That's a question. Yep.
Yeah. Something that warmed my heart at the bottom.
Dude, I lost my mind when I saw this one.
Oh, this is what you were talking about.
How did you not pick this out of the calendar?
Full disclosure, Ibanez texted me when this kind of came out. And maybe my head was I was just doing too much. I was like, what is he so excited about? He's like, you're going to know it when you see it. And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's not until now we actually got together and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what he would go crazy for.
I lost my mind. I was like, Zerbat. He was like, what the?
Yeah, my bad. I don't know why. I guess it was so many icons on the screen.
You had so much crap going on. I understand, but I was just like, you also didn't you didn't read between the lines because I was like, how are you not seeing this? We've only been talking about this for like 6 months now.
You know what it was? I was so excited about new raid in Season of the Forge over a raid layer.
Oh, come on, be honest. You're excited about PC Master Race. Get on board.
Well, of course, that too. I gotta follow my brother. I gotta follow him. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, I'm reading, I'm glad you made me read this. I'm like, yeah, Zer, our good friend. Boy, have you been useless prior to this point. So this is exciting. Zer bounties. Let's see what that is. I'm gonna let you take that, and then Joker's Wild weekly quest. I'll let you take that. Go for it, man. This is all you now.
Well, first, up at the top, we got private matches and new maps for Gambit, which is going to be awesome. Because right now you have a lot of variety. A different weapon type, different enemy types, and 4 maps. And then we got a 5th one with are we up to 4 with the Dreaming City one? I can't remember.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's a good question. I think
because you have the steampunk, that one. You got Dreaming City. You got the Nessus one. I'm missing, and then you have the 4. So yeah, there are 4. So 3 or 4 new Gambit maps. Like the mode always feels. This is one of the things. Like Crucible maps, like every match always feels a little different. But Gambit has like the different enemies, so honestly, it tends to feel different. So I don't focus on the map as much. But if you throw more variety in there as well. Just the more the merrier. So I can't wait for that. And just private matches, if people want to do Gambit tournaments, that's a way for them to do it. I don't ever do much with private matches because they're not custom matches, and that's the difference. If they ever get to the point and let us custom match and be like, hey, auto rifles are 10,000% damage, and you just like mow stuff over, stuff dies insanely fast, you can just totally break the game for a little while. That's what I still would ever love, but we're not going to get there, it seems, for a long time. But new maps are good. I'm down for that. Power increases coming, vanity rewards. Exotic quest number 2. Now here's the distinction. There's one exotic quest for everyone. Exotic quests in the annual pass. So what do you think about exotic quests only being in the annual pass for 2 of these things? What do you think?
Man, I'm gonna be a little bit elitist on this. Hey, you gotta pay that money, bro. Come on. Come on. Listen, you lucky to be here at the power level you at without paying.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? Dudes that commit, hey, I'm with it. I'm listen. It's not as an exclusive VIP club as it was in the past where they can't attain power levels. But if guys are paying for that annual pass content, they should be rewarded with extra things. So this to me is, I can't see people like, oh, I'm being locked out. It's part of the pass. It's part of an annual pass. Other games do it. I don't see the issue. So I have no problem. And look, you're getting an exotic quest. They're getting still Gambit private matches. They're still getting a lot of stuff. They're not getting anything. That put it this way. that disparity could be greater if Bungie really wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, and it could. I think Bungie probably fought hard to keep it at this level,
Yes.
to keep as much inclusion as possible, because you see, like, everyone gets the maps, not just the new people. Like weapons, gear, certain things, fine. Like that's going to be part of the expansion of that little piece of content for the annual pass. But the maps, you can level up, you can play all the maps, you can still fight all the enemies. You're just going to be doing it with different guns. That's basically how you can describe it. Like you'll be fighting them with different gear, but you still can fight all the same stuff, which is cool. Like I kind of like that. So exotic quest, spring event. Any thoughts? I don't have a damn clue.
Yeah, West Spring.
I mean, they have an icon for it because
an icon.
I've never seen it before.
Do you think they bring? What was it? Not Age of, isn't it? Is it Age of Triumph?
Well, no, that was Age of Triumph was like the end of D1. Solstice of Heroes was what we did last year, and that's coming in the next one. So I really don't know what this is.
I don't know. Maybe one. If any time Sparrow Racing got a shot, that would be a time.
That would definitely be like a down moment in between. So annual pass, we've got the new weapons and gear. So that'll be, I don't know if there's like quests for these, if there's a little story behind the Drifter, but basically they describe this as your time to learn about the Drifter. Yes. What's he doing? What's his history? What is going on? Is he good? Is he bad? I have no clue. I don't honestly think anybody trusts the guy because we're killing Taken to get him energy and he thanks us for it. Like he's got he's like, crazy dude off to the side being like, hey, thanks. You got any more of that Taken energy? Like there's some reason for that. So
yeah, he's got a little bit of gloriousness to him. And obviously, with the whole malfeasance quest, I believe as well, they kind of expound a little bit more on that. He's definitely flirting with something with that whole dark and evil line. So I'm actually curious about him. And then obviously the connection to Cade, if you do Cade's story, the Ace Space quest, he mentions him. He mentions how the Drifter was actually, Gambit was actually Cade's idea. You know what I'm saying? So those two had a relation. I was a little disappointed that when Cade passed, sidetrack right now, that when Cade passed, that Drifters didn't really seem that, empathetic. He was like, oh, you lost your buddy went down. I'm like, dude, it was your buddy too. He said it in your will. He said it in his will. So I'm like, I'm very curious about us, diving deeper into the Drifter lore, see what's going on with this cat.
We've got another exotic quest for annual pass people. Don't know. I don't have a clue on these. Joker's Wild Weekly Quest. So now it says weekly quest, not challenge, not activity, quest, which is weird terminology to me. I'm sitting there actually kind of racking it through my brain that like right now to go like, they'll literally say over here, like Black Armory gear, forges, weekly activity, like that stuff. Weekly quest is just an oddball way to phrase that thing. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like, if it's just like do you think there's going to be like separate weekly quests that are going to be like different things? Do you think there's maybe some voiceover lines to them? Is it just like a weekly thing that you keep repeating? I don't know. It may just be a weekly activity and weird terminology, but it does seem they're usually very choice about their words. That's why it's a little odd to me.
No, I agree. The only thing I'm going to say about this whole content with Season of Drifter, this thing have a lot of potential to be great, but we also have to talk about the elephant in the room. There is no raid or raid layer on that pass.
Nope.
So they, in my opinion, have to really come with the content and whatever in-game event is, and whatever maybe that is spring event, maybe, they've got to really do something to distract us, similar to, I would say, like a Prison of Elders, Lord of, what is it, House of Wolves kind of deal. When House of Wolves didn't have that theoretical raid, but they had some other modes and stuff like that.
Prison of the Elders. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So they're going to have to find something end game wise. That's the only thing I'm worried about, because obviously that DLC doesn't have any type of raid associated.
Yeah. And honestly, maybe that's them just saying, hey, Gambit's this thing. You can jump in, play some rounds, work on your grinds, things like that. You'll have some Xur bounties, which is, I am honestly so curious what they're going to do. These are they going to be exotic quests? Are they different things for, like we've said, Xur bounties just to get like what are they called now?
Enhancement cores.
Yes, enhancement cores. You know where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
All those types of things. I don't know what Xur bounties are going to do,
Yeah.
but also maybe this is them just literally looking at marketing, going, Anthem is February 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to wrap up the season of the Forge. Division 2 is March. Let this downtime be the time when they're like doing, hey, here's this, come play Gambit sometimes. Do these rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Easy grinds, not quite as crazy. Build your hype back up in June, July, and August with the new raid, with the redacted, with all the discovery and secrets that make people go insane about this game. To me, the season of the Drifter is that downtime where you're going to have people come back for quest here. Here's an exotic quest. Like smaller, this is your drip feed time where there's going to be some things, but this will be the low key part, I think, of the annual pass. That's what I'm calling it now.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, I mean, there doesn't look like much in game. Was it Jimbo in your chat saying like Thunderlord was a weekly quest? Maybe it is something like that. Maybe are there? Maybe that's like little pieces of stuff like that. Maybe there's ways they do it. I don't know, but I mean, I do think this will be the low key of the three for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think you nailed it with that.
I was like, and we've kind of speculated before, but a new Gambit experience. I mean, Gambit is a whole new experience anyway. What's a new version of that?
I am very curious about that. That's what I want to see. I'm very curious what that means. Like, does Gambit play different? Like, what that means? It does. I don't get the vibe that it's just new maps. Like, I get they're changing some things fundamentally or adding some things. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the grind will be there. We'll have more stuff to grind as we go. But I mean, I wonder how, like, if they do pinnacle weapons every season, that's a lot of stuff to start grinding for. Definitely keeping you busy. So, so that is Season of the Drifter. Maybe a little more low key, but still some exotic quests you'll want to jump back in for occasionally. See what the Joker's Wild is. Season of the blank.
Redacted.
Season of, I've heard. Spoiler alert. This is called Season of the Shadow. I have no idea what that means, but it would make sense because they mentioned they call this penumbra as the content piece. Penumbra literally relates to the shadow and the phases of the sun and the moon and stuff like that. So if you go look up the definition, I don't know the specific one, but it's related to that. So Season of the Shadow makes a lot of sense, but it's also the way they describe it, and I really hope they kind of do what I'm about to say, because if they do, this will build your hype back in the world of Destiny, because it's after things have been out. It's before that September insanity launch of all the games in the fall, and this is that perfect time when there's not a lot to do over the summer. Season of the blank, they do no marketing, just say it's live, go dig. Like literally nothing, like what quests are out there, what's new. You want to see people like dive into the game, be like, what's over here, what's in this corner of the world, like where's this, what are the new in, like everybody looks for all the new stuff in the world, and you're just going to be discovery constantly, and like here's this new raid, you don't even know where it's at. Like just literally as things are found, stuff keeps getting like trickled in, or this new quest comes this week. If they don't tell us anything, some of the times when Destiny is the best, when you don't know.
When you don't know, and you're like, what? Like I said, those whisper the word moments, those hype there. Like those are the things that make Destiny. Agreed.
So I'm hoping. I mean, they've got redacted, new weapons and gear. Now this is cool. A new 6-player match-made activity.
Holler! Let's go. Learn from Escalation Protocol, man. Let's go. Love it. That's what I'm talking about. You got to do that, man. You have to be inclusive. You have this great game with all this great content, and people want to play together. How do you meet new people? Like, these are the type of things. You got to do it, man.
Sorry, I'm trying to curtail somebody in your chat real quick.
Spoiler! Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's gone.
Thank you, Scream. Thanks, E, for cleaning that. Thank you. Damn it, Scream.
Anyway, but yeah, I was like, a 6-player match-made activity. If it's a big thing, like if it's out there, just as like, maybe it is an escalation. Maybe they use patrol zones and do something like bigger events. And if you can matchmake into them, hell yeah. Like, I mean, this is what we've all been waiting for, because matchmaking, having the option is just what everybody wants. You don't always want to, but if you don't have the option, so many people miss out on content, which is the struggle. Like the raid is a hard thing for still like 80% of the player base to get into. Shattered Throne. I mean, unless you're going to go bash your head against the solo, which I'm going to do this weekend because I still want my freaking Triumph. But
Nice.
not everybody is dumb as I am. So most of you guys are smarter, and you're not going to spend your time on that. Having random people to get through stuff with. Yeah, there's probably going to be some mechanics in there, but I mean, yeah, the option needs to be there more frequently than not, just to actually let people come through. So, and another raid.
Yes.
Not a damn clue what, and they say raid again specifically, not raid lair.
Raid lair, yeah. No, we know what this is though. They've already alluded. They've hinted.
It seems like towards the Leviathan usually seeing the videos, right?
This is that, and I think it's all going to link in to you know, the whole penumbra, the whole, you know, what that's behind. And I have my theories, you know, obviously with Callus hinting at other things possibly being greater. When I see Season of the Redacted and I see that robot, it just screams Benedict to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's
kind
just
of looking like a beast ninja with a sword on his back.
I
love that look for him, by the way, like a robot with a ninja sword. I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I think that we get probably the conclusion that we deserved, you know, after. Yeah, because I thought Leviathan's conclusion was fine. I'm just talking about like Eater of Worlds and Spire was like, what the hell's going on? At the end, you know what I'm saying?
And we still never technically fought the
real one, exactly.
Yeah, so maybe him, maybe we get to a different section. So maybe that's, and they say Season of the Shadow. I mean, we had the cinematic where, you know, the Traveler's energy went out into the world, and we've been progressing through all of these pieces where, you know, at first it touched Mercury, then it touched Mars, then we're in the Reef. Like the cinematic has been this giant plan that they've had in place, and the big black diamond space Dorito ships, that might honestly be the thing that this leads into. And this is where all of this hopefully will maybe come together. So yeah. I don't know. If all of you guys in chat look at this, and if you tell me if it's worth $35 or not, that's up to you. You can do freebie. You can live in the Forsaken World, still be $750 by the time it comes, and you can still get your Solstice of Heroes, which may bump you to like, hey, you're going to be $770, $780 come whatever comes in the fall. Or you can pay $35 and have all this new stuff to do. To me, a couple raids, the forges, the Zer bounties, which are weird that they're specific. The Zer bounties stay in the annual pass. I'm not sure how they're going to distinction those. But a couple exotic quests, new. I mean, I feel like you have other games like, you know, Call of Duty, you'll get maps. You'll have, you know, you'll have some story things here. You're going to have story, you're going to have maps, you're going to have Gambit experiences, raids, all this stuff. And for all they're asking for a full year, like they're not even asking for a subscription model right now, which is honestly something that they could do. And I would be okay with coming from World of Warcraft. Be like, you want to pay $10 a month, pay $120 a year? I'd do it in a heartbeat.
It literally screams of what you were talking about last Flashpoint. This literally, this is what you were talking about. You were preaching this consistent content that you would almost pay a subscription price for, and it literally feels like that's exactly what they're doing, but in a, you know, console way. I mean, not console way, but in a different kind of a way. But that's a little bit less, you know, intrusive. Yeah.
So I mean, it's $35. It's like, I mean, it's not even $5 a month for the time that we're not in. Like for these seasons, you break $30, it's $10 a season. It's like, you know, $3 a month. I think you can not have a cup of coffee. Like it's an easy thing to justify. So to me, you may call me a Destiny shill or whatever. I mean, that's fine. But to me, the value of the content that we're getting in a game with so many different activities, to me, is very, very worth it. So
it's how much personal enjoyment you've had, right? Like, I mean, look how many hours the content has given us. So it's like the value proposition has more than paid for itself, you know, in my opinion. So I completely agree with you. Completely.
Yeah. And then there's stuff we haven't even mentioned, and Yagami said it too. Think about surprises they haven't even put on the calendar. Whisper type missions that just show up.
They mentioned it. They mentioned.
I mean, they mentioned people love those things. That Whisper Clear is part of it. The Shattered Throne. We don't have a mention of another dungeon in here. I mean, give me another dungeon somewhere in here, and I'll buy the damn annual pass for literally that alone. I love Shattered Throne so much because it is like the perfect level of. I can solo it. Yes, it's a 3-person thing. You don't need a raid. It's doable, but the mechanics, the challenge, like it's and it just is. Oh yeah. So.
They won me at 2 new raids, not raid layers.
Yep.
0 bounties and 6-player match made activity. Run. And we still got 2 redacted that we don't even know what those are.
And nobody has a freaking clue. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's like we might at some point get trials. That'll be for everybody. You might some point get faction rallies. That's still for everybody. So I mean, they honestly, shout out to those guys because they're seriously kicking everything's butt right now, because what they're doing in like the production, the amount of work those guys are putting in. If I could shake all of their hands, all of the like the big guys, small guys, the artists, like, I mean, we're gonna get whatever a new raid is, Skybox in the new raid. I'm still gonna take that second look up and be like, whoever did the Skybox, you crushed it. Like, that thought still goes through my head because it's amazing. So, I mean, Bungie still puts in great work. Activision may have its thoughts and otherwise, but Bungie still wants to make this game for us. And I think that's still one of the best things they do.
Agreed. Killing it right now.
They are. So that pretty much covers it. This week at Bungie kind of basically tapped on everything. You've got the Black Armory calendar. They mention a little bit lower down here. Again, go watch the Vidoc. Just really cool. There's a few things you'll see in there if you want spoilers and things. Nothing too crazy that we haven't talked about in here. So if you guys made it this long, there are spoilers, but much. The calendar's in there. Here's where they talk about Scourge of the Past. I mean, they do say it doesn't fit the definition of a raid lair because it's not an extension of a current raid. It is its own. It may not be 6 pieces like Last Wish, but it's somewhere between the big and the small. It is its raid, 3 to 4 encounters. Still pretty cool. And this is your high def picture. This is your picture of the raid.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm trying to say. That, first of all, what was so fire was, like I said, they had you on Sparrows in the city on some Akira vibe. I'm already in. Then it's like Rats in the Machine meets Akira with some secret. We got to see what's going on down there. Oh, I'm hyped, man. I'm excited. I want to get back to a fun raid. Less mechanic-y, less, there's going to be some mechanics, of course, but, less, that hardcore thing that we were talking about with Last Wish and Taken King, and just more of a fun vibe. And based on that Vidoc, that's the vibe I'm getting. This is definitely a fun, breakneck, high intensity, high action packed. Let's get it. So yeah, that's the image, man. That's the image right there. Got me hyped for that raid. And it's not a raid layer, like King is in the chat. He's sick of that raid layer crap. Shout out to King.
But yeah, it will launch Friday, daily reset, recommended power 640. So, but there's no minimum. So, I mean, if you're 602, you can jump in. You may get smashed in the face by the first guy you see, but you can go look.
You're one shot by a Dreg.
Yeah, Dreg will come up and just like tap you on the shoulder and be like, yeah, you can die now. Or honestly, they'll just be like down there doing what they do. They'd be hiding behind buildings and doing those like grenade throws, like just clutch, just throwing darts out there with those grenades. Honestly, I joke in my videos. I probably said it before. I want to go to Dreg Grenade School because the way those guys throw grenades, insane. And then I think everybody else went to that grenade school because like grenades, man, from enemies, grenades are like just lethal.
Yep.
And then we got our number. 650 power progression. It's official. Soft cap stays at 500. Now, players under 550 should expect to see prime engrams more frequently, so a quicker boost to get up to closer, and receive higher bumps from the prime engrams, and so they're going to help. Like if you're jumping a little later, you're leveling up that extra character. It's not going to be quite the grind it was up to a point, and then it'll slow down. But I think in general, kind of a nice way to balance it out. Not just send you straight like a rocket ship to 600, but even out some of that in between, which will be nice.
I'm cool with that.
And also, for those of you guys who have been playing Forsaken since it started, finally getting our Veterans bundle on December 18th. We got the unique shaker, kind of this tiger stripe one. We've got the emblem that goes with it, which always looks cool. A bundle of a whole bunch of stuff. I'm kind of curious how much that's going to be. And then some pretty damn cool emotes. So you got the coin flip.
Yeah,
like these are cool. Coin flip, just flipping it over. So you got that one, and then just throwing the knife.
Shout out to our boy. You know who that's for.
Oh yeah. But it's they're the neon emotes, which are the ones I like. They're not just a dance. They're the ones that have a little more to them. So I'm glad these are cool. And if you played, cool, you get them. If you didn't play at that point, still just the cosmetic. But I think for those who did, they're honestly pretty cool. And again, look in the back behind. These are the images. They're standing in the black armory. So if you want to dig a little deeper, look behind these little GIFs. They're there. But yeah, so Destiny update 2.1.1 comes on Tuesday, December 4th. Not too much downtime. They say just about half an hour. So I think we probably downloaded most of the content already.
Yes.
Should pretty much be here. So this will be the kind of activation of everything else.
Yeah.
You're going to have your first Forge go live. Amongst everything else, and the raid's 3 days later. So hit the ground running. Time to
grind time. Back at it.
Yep.
Back at it, baby.
There's a few things that they know about. There's some guns that are dropping right now. If you guys haven't seen them, there's a few saboteurs for like Forge saboteurs out in the world. They can drop some weapons right now from Black Armory. Some people are seeing double perks that are weird. So I mean, there's a couple things that are broken right now. Just wait a few days. They got it all in check coming soon. Most of it is going to be all right. So, and that's pretty much a wrap. And shout out again, movie of the week, by the way, just because this is insane. Petra's Run is a no death by anyone, not res, no death by anyone raid run. That is how you have to do it. And they 3-man the whole damn thing.
Yeah, that's sick, man. Oh, I know we at the end we didn't touch that.
I was getting there.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure that we didn't forget.
There's going to be a giant spoiler alarm.
I
don't know how many times I'm going to have to say it. So that one's cool, and then just nice Thunderlord video. Looks like he's rocking out to it. But in general, even just this little gift somebody did is cool because somebody sits down, then a guy turns around the chair, comes up next to him, which is perfectly placed. And then this guy over here lights his little basically thing. Yeah, if you want to avoid spoilers,
yes, it's the time to leave. King says I'm out.
To go.
We're gonna talk about something that I don't know if anybody has seen. Wilhelm Scream has seen it, and he mentioned it. He promptly deleted his comment.
No, if you don't want spoilers for anything coming to Black Armory, especially any story related stuff, because there may not be that much, now is the time to duck out. You guys can wait. You made it through most of the podcast. That's why we're saving it for the end. But there's one more piece to this whole little stuff that's happened lately. And so we're going to do this in 10 seconds. You have 9 seconds to leave. 8, 7,
Spoilers!
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final spoiler warning coming up.
Yeah, if you in here, this is your business now. You know what you're here for.
All right. So, you want to say it or me?
Yeah, I'll start off.
You can do it. Go for it.
So, shout out to Eurogamer, who I was just looking casually, new Destiny information. I believe Bungie put out a tweet, and then it was separate, and then PlayStation put out a tweet, but that was separate. All kind of vintage Vidoc kind of stuff. But then Eurogamer, in that same cadence, happened to have a Destiny Black Armory article. I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Let's learn what we need to learn, find out information. I'm scrolling down. I'm like, oh, this is cool information. This is great. And then they start with a spoiler warning. And I'm like, what is there to spoil? Like, what are they talking about? And I don't know where they got the source from, but there is a video. There's a small video, and you pretty much watch it. You throw it on. And from what it seems to me, I'm just going to give you my assessment of what I felt and what I saw. So it looks like, the camera pans in, and we're back at the Dreaming City. The Dreaming City looked cleansed. I'm going to say that it looked clean, or maybe just a cycle at that time was the normal cycle.
Yep.
And there is kind of like a slab and almost like a memoriam. And obviously there's a body. There's a sheet over the body. So I'm like, interesting. Okay. And then a ghost appears and proceeds to go to the body, scan the body. I'm like, okay, all right, where's this going? And the sheet comes off. And almost like a Game of Thrones moment with our boy, Jon Snow,
Yeah.
It was literally a Jon Snow moment. And come to find out, our boy Aldrin is back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you take this from now. And what did you feel, and what did your assessment of this said video?
So I had caught like a blip and I saw it. And then as soon as you said it, I knew what you were talking about because I had seen I'd seen the face. I hadn't seen the full video, but I'd seen who it was. So I knew as soon as you're like, holy, have you? I'm like, I'm 99% sure I know what you're talking about because that's the only thing that would be that big. But I had like kind of seen it and almost disregarded. But as soon as you said it, I was like, okay, it's real. And basically what did you look at the shadow cast by the altar? Looks like someone else's head. I'll have to go watch it again.
Watch it again. Yeah, I have to watch it again for that.
But the concept that you have to remember, how did we become a guardian?
Talk about it.
You see in Destiny 1, we're out, and if you guys did the Thunderlord quest, you saw this area, and it was literally like the Cosmodrome by the wall, a ghost is floating around, and then bam, it puffs up, it pulses up, gets this energy blast in, and wakes us up in the exact same manner as it does Aldrin. So
what are you implying? What are you implying, Evantis?
Has the Traveler chosen Aldrin to be a guardian?
That is the question.
Now is really when I want Bife to be on here because I'm sure he would have a better answer. But I mean, the idea is the ghosts choose who to wake up. And when they choose you, your ghost is how you're a guardian. That is how you get to come back. That is all those pieces. So now a ghost woke him up and they choose. They look. I mean, they mention it's like, I looked forever. Like when it wakes us up, it's like, I looked forever for you. I looked years. Like I never thought I would find you. And then it did. So what does this mean? Now, Scream.
He's talking about some shadow. Scream, you might as well just say what it is right now. Just say whatever this shadow is.
Or is he just implying that like there's a guardian with them that scans and like wakes them up?
But here's the thing. Yeah, Scream, jump in the comments because I'm curious to know what you're talking about this shadow. Like, I'm with you, E. Like, I think the vibe I got is that, you know, he was killed at the end of Forsaken. We know that. He has been resurrected as our guardian. What? Cade's head. Hold on. I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
He said, did you see the shadow cast? I don't know, man. I mean, listen, if they do that, I might have a problem with that.
All right, so hold on.
That's another thing. That's another thing.
Right? We're going to take this slow. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, granted, we just spoiled the living crap out of it, but this is one place for it. This is in VG27. Eurogamer's got the same thing, so it's in my Twitch. Spoiler warning, links here as well. Leaked cutscene, full screen. We're going to play it slow and pause. So everybody get ready. Here we go.
Interesting.
So there's a ghost looking around. Now the ghost looks alone. Usually they're not too far from their guardians.
Right.
Seems to be on its own. Here's the memorial we're talking about.
Dreaming City looking very nice.
So here's the pose. You got sunlight. You've got leaves blowing through. And you have that memorial. You have the kind of cloth over the top. You know, kind of that respectful covering. Now, there's no audio on this one, so sorry, guys.
Who buries their guy in cloth, though? That's a weird custom in the Dreaming City.
At some point, he is going to start smelling. So
yeah, like put him under the ground. I thought that was weird. They just left him out there like that, but whatever.
So right now, Scream keeps talking about shadows, and if you guys are catching like this later,
I see it. I see that shadow he's talking about right there. But I think
this is just the shadow of this. This is all it looks like right now.
It do look like
that. Watch the shadow a little later.
Okay.
So here, like it's scanning, and then this moment right here, that is the fact that ghost is like using its energy from the Traveler to do something. And you wait, and there's sheet energized, electricity, all that good stuff. Raise on up. And bam,
there he is.
And he's like, holy crap, the dude's alive. He's like, how am I alive? What happened? He's still here. Now he doesn't like smile or anything, so he's not like sinister, but the dude is up. Now let me see if I can find that shadow point where Scream's talking about. He's looking at here, basically.
Yeah, that's what he's looking at. That looks like the fake shape of Cade's head. I know that's what he was talking about. I mean, to me, I'm like,
just in the lighting, I think it's more just like either the feet catching the shadow, because you see the feet here catch, and then just this little bump of his head goes off frame, so it's just kind of a little raised up, is my assumption. So I think that's that. Maybe it is a throwback, because it does look like Cade's hid with his little spire.
I just think it's symbolism, to be honest. I don't think it has anything to do with Cade being alive. That's just me personally. And to be honest, I'm going to jump in right now. I think it's going to piss a lot of people off. I think it's a travesty to bring Cade back. Now I know people are going to say, "Hey, but you're going to bring his enemy back, and that's disrespectful to the guy that killed him." Here's the thing. Let's be real. According to lore, for those who have played the game and the story, Aldrin, he was messed up, but everything he did, he thought he was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Right? Lore-wise, he thought he had to do that, and he was being manipulated, which is very big. So, and according to like his past lore, he was beloved, you know what I'm saying, in that city, and he anything that had to do with the queen, he was right by her side. So, we have to keep that in mind. And then you have the Taken factor, you have the Riven factor, right? You have the Savathun behind the scenes factor. You know what I'm saying? So we have all these things, and a man that is clearly being manipulated does what he thinks right, which is completely wrong. He meets his fate, and he dies. Zavala now implies, there's repercussions, whatever. Now, here's the thing. Like you said, you have a ghost, right? The only time we see ghosts do this is when they're selecting a guardian, someone that they feel is worthy. Clearly, the Traveler has made a decision. This is what I get out of it. You know what I'm saying? The Traveler has said that he is going to be needed. He is powerful enough. That's part of the whole Guardian's law. You know what I mean? That these guys are needed for the ultimate battle against the darkness. So how ironic is this? And what makes it, I think, even cooler that I want to talk about, it would be the ultimate kind of redemption story. The last point I will say, how funny and weirded out. Now, do we know, before I even say this point, do we know what Aldrin's class is? Are we going to assume he's Hunter?
You got to. Because I think you're headed where Kronos mentioned it in chat, and I think I know where you're going.
Let's say what Kronos saying. What Kronos saying? Let me see.
He beat you to it.
Let's see exactly Kronos. Let me see. Bring it up. Let's get Kronos saying.
So basically, what he's saying is, when you do Cade 6's mission, his dare, and he's like, it's one of those, like, the best bet I ever lost, or whatever he talks about. He's saying if a guardian killed him, they would become the new Hunter Vanguard.
Ding, 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 ding.
As a newly resurrected guardian, it could be that Aldrin is capable of being the Vanguard. Now, I don't know what a guardian does when it pulls you out, because it feels like as a guardian, we have no history. We don't know who we were before. We don't know what we did in the past.
Correct.
So if it's like, I'm actually watching Blind Spot with my wife. If it's like a memory wipe type situation, is it a point to where, like, he could be someone good, but can Zavala,
they accept it?
Can Ikora look at him and not just want to absolutely rip his head off? Like,
that's why this is great storytelling, and I want to give credit to Bungie on this, because I know a lot of Cade fans may be pissed, but this is great drama. This is great theater, because, like you said, the lore, which if he doesn't know he's Aldrin, he doesn't know he did all this thing. He is awake just like we are awake. He is reawoken. He's resurrected to come back. And I was talking to Addict about this. I was like, how crazy would it be that Aldrin is the new Vanguard, and we still don't have a replacement, right?
No, we don't, and that's why we've all been wondering, like, who the hell is this going to be?
I think this is a fantastic story. And what's crazy is, I came into Black Armory thinking there wasn't going to be much storytelling, that there wasn't going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, Scream is hype. I'm hype too, Scream. Like this, this is the evolution of Bungie storytelling. We never get twists like this. We never get this depth in storytelling, and I'm proud. I'm proud, man. I don't know how they got a hold of this. I don't know. Now the question is, Ibantis, do you think this is at the start of Black Armory? This is when you beat Black Armory? Like, where do you think the timeline is?
Like, I don't know. I mean, if it's a cinematic that exists, I feel like, because I mean, Scream's in chat mentioning like Season of the Shadow. I don't think it can be that far because I don't think we'd even have it yet.
Right.
I mean, if it's data mined or ripped out of like whatever the new files were with the patch and stuff like that, if that's where it came from, I think it has to be this season. I don't know if it's now. I don't know if it comes with that, you know, last word quest, something related to like hunters and all those pieces. Like, I don't know where it falls, but I feel like it has to be this season. I just don't know if it's going to be related to the story or if it's like the ultimate quest cinematic and just like, holy mother of what just happened.
Yeah, this is deep on so many levels. Then we have the Morosov relationship. How is that now changed? You know what I'm saying?
Does he even know?
Does he even know? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's that just the scene in the tower alone, if he is to return there. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be like the shame moment in Game of Thrones.
Bro.
And he wouldn't. But that's why I was like, I don't know. And this is one of those things where I almost want to like tweet one of the, you know, Mylan or Bife and say like, do Guardians, when you're resurrected, have any inclination, or can you ever have an idea of what was done in your past? Like, are you killed? Are you resurrected as a Guardian and you have no history? Because at least in my playing of all of this game so far for 4 years and however long it's been, I've never known that my Guardian has a past. I only know that I have my Guardian start date from like day 0 and go forward.
He is a day 0 Guardian. He knows nothing of his former life. Now we do, and the interactions and the reactions to him are going to be quite interesting. But yeah, like I'm with you. That's what a Guardian is resurrected. That's how he comes back. No history, no past history. This is, yeah, man. Shout out to Scream. He said Exo seemed to somewhat. Yeah, this is very interesting, man. And I was very surprised that they did this, but kudos to them. I'm very curious to see where this goes. This blew my mind when I started. I'm like, I texted her immediately. I'm like, dude, did you see this? Oh man, what crazy twist. What a crazy twist.
Yeah. So I mean, I have no idea what this means, but I mean, you guys are still here, at least half the chat is, so you guys wanted to talk about this. I mean, it's just like they can do so many things with it. So now we just got to see if Bungie really gets back to using their writers in the story to make like, is this going to be this like long arcing connection through Forsaken that connects to next September? Is this a thing that builds into the Shadow? Is he going to be part of the Vanguard? Is he going to be fighting alongside Zavala? I mean, what if Zavala makes his bubble and like, nah, screw you, you're not like, I mean, come on, the dude is there's so much animosity.
So much here. They mentioned that the way they're handling content is a continual story. They mentioned that in the video. You know what I mean? So this whole thing, to see how this plays out, whew, good job though. Good job. You know, maybe necessarily, you know, didn't expect to see anything like this so early. You know what I'm saying? But I can't wait to see how this thing unfolds. I think they're going in a fantastic direction if all this is true.
Yeah. So. On that bombshell, no, I'm stealing that from Top Gear. If you've ever watched it. But seriously, though, guys, like I mean, this is a long point. We knew it would be. We had a lot to chat coming up on like 2.5 hours. I know you're going to pass out.
Yeah, I had to pass it out.
But honestly, it's been an awesome morning. So I think that's pretty much all we've got for at least today. If that's not enough, Zer's going to be up in about 42 minutes. So that'll be coming. We've got Black Armory around the corner. We got forges and raid layers and quests and so much stuff to do. So it continues to be a great time to play Destiny. To me, biased or not, I feel like so far, I said there had to be a lot of weight to this piece of the annual pass. The forges sound cool. They're match made. We have a full new lair. We've got new weapons, things like that. In-game grind is going to be there. And if there's anything related to this image on screen right now, gonna be pretty cool. So I think they've made a good step, and if they keep it up, man, I'm gonna be happy. I think the Season of Drift will have that kind of quieter time with activities to do, but not that push while other games are being out there, and then finish it up with whatever is gonna tie into Season of the Redacted. So I think we have taken up enough of your time this morning, guys. But if you want to wrap it up, Cognito, you can do it first.
Yeah, man. Look, it's fantastic to be back. Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat and everybody. Say shout out to Scream, everybody. Chats are both fantastic. Chronos, everybody today, man. Good to be back after the holiday, talking Destiny again. Exciting time, so much good stuff. And you know, for me, man, it's the same thing. Iron Lords podcast. You already know every Sunday is the Lord's Day. You can catch me there at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have Brat Podcast on, a returning friend of the realm, talking gaming, all the latest craziness with Bethesda, all these great topics we got to discuss, man. We may have a couple of surprises as well. So tune in on the Iron Lord Podcast YouTube channel for that. And I believe also Fight Talk, Combat Talk with the King. There's a big fight coming up this Saturday. He's going to have some content for that as well. So check that out. And of course, Flashpoint Fridays with my man, E. Batis, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good to be back, brother. Back in the seat and playing Destiny with you. Finally.
Yeah, that only take forever.
Doing a podcast and never play Destiny with him. Great. Now
yeah, that's kind of insane. Now we can finally cross that off our checklist. So
thanks.
Same with me as well, guys. Zur will be up as soon as it goes live here in about 40 minutes. I'll get that one up for you guys. Going to be working on Shattered Throne solo this weekend. I have to finish that one just because I got through 2, grinded my way through. So that is going to be my feat for this weekend. I might be streaming some of it, might get the videos up, but that is my goal. But you guys can find me on Twitch or Twitter. So I have you guys on Twitch already. See Bontis on both of those, but on YouTube, I'm like 30 subs away from 27,000. So keep that train going. You guys are awesome. So it's been a great day. It's Friday. The weekend's here. Enjoy your weekend. Go see a movie. Have some good food. Have some fun playing Destiny. And we got a lot to do coming up. So stay tuned, guys. Next week's also going to be crazy interesting because the raid's going to go live basically after we finish. We'll have one forge under our belt. Yeah. So keep it going, guys. You're rock stars. And we thank you for all the support. You guys are great. So we'll see you soon. Sub, hype, follow Iron Lords podcast, follow mine as well. Just hit us all up and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Have a good one. See you soon, guys.